We are live, huh, Varun?
हाँ good. Hello.
Hello. It's only two of. Imagine Varun and myself, the only two people being on the live stream. We are waiting for Amartya essentially, but we have basically made a pact amongst us to keep this a shorter episode. We have zero people
Yeah.
watching, which is weird considering I already have comments on our live stream, like just 1 second before this. So it's very
Since it's coming
weird.
from Dhruv adding it to my watch list. But, okay, I'm a film hater if you ask the rest, but it's not like people get most of Amartya's recommendations either.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Arvind, don't trust me on this, honestly. I think Chris would be the bigger enthusiastic supporter of it. I sometimes feel I almost, one part of me doesn't want to like the movie, but I know how much I laugh with it, not at it, which is very
Okay.
crucial. Because this is not an this will 100% not be an argument of this is so bad it's good, because that's
Acha.
not the line I'm taking at all when I'm going to recommend this
I
movie.
mean,
And
it does have stupid jokes, but it uses them stupidly. So it's like, Bunty Beva
but
Jai,
it knows
Avi Jai,
exactly
Koi
what it
To Jao,
is. It knows
that one.
exactly what it is. If
Yeah.
that annoys people, then I totally understand it. But if I'm on its wavelength, which I am, and I know Chris is, but
Hmm.
if you are on that wavelength, then it hits the mark for you. Like I think,
For
but it,
me, at least, the film is funnier now because it's lampooning the whole Manoj Kumar type of cinema.
yeah,
That hyper patriotic, absolute, not even
that's
hyper
true.
patriotic actually,
Yeah,
hyper nationalistic, because patriotism is
nationalistic. Yeah,
a positive emotion.
yeah,
And
yeah.
funnily enough, Manoj Kumar had taken like great offense to that one scene in Om Shanti
In
Om
Om
where
Shanti Om, right?
Kalpana
Yes.
Shah Rukh gets into the
I
premiere of Dream
remember.
Girl,
I
and
remember. I remember.
it
I mean,
seems like such a
apna,
slap in the face that she made a whole movie lampooning him after that.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have one person on like here at least it's showing one. Where's Sanjeet? He is the one who said early on
Huh.
9:16 that also. Sanjeet, show your face at least, please. As in, like,
It's,
not on the live stream, on the live
otherwise, you get
chat.
another OA.
Yes, I don't want a repeat of last week's episode at all. But hi, Chris.
There's one
How are
mention watcher
you?
actually.
Yeah, that is not. You've already mentioned it, but I'm not adding any fuel to that fire. Hi, Chris. How are you? You will be the only one in this. 4 minute title में ensure कर दिया है कि सिर्फ आप ही होगे because तीसमार खान मैंने डाला हुआ है ना title में as part of. I mean, the only time I'm gonna be mentioning the red shoes and Tismar Khan in one
In one thing.
sentence, line, whatever you wanna call it. Line only, not sentence, but. There are oddly similar things about those films in terms of they are about film productions and film productions. No,
No,
not film productions. They're about
production,
productions, which
artistic production.
eventually, but which feature. Well, they're diametrically opposite also in terms of who they feature.
Yeah.
But yeah, that discussion is probably going to happen when we go in that in those zones of Powell and Pressburger and Farah Khan, because that is one.
Very interesting space to
I mean,
occupy.
yeah, I mean, I know that Varun here is at least because Amartya is not here right now. Varun is the Farah Khan half Farah Khan lover. So let's just say half,
Yeah, I
because she's
mean, I
made
like.
4 films, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
I have not watched enough of Tismar Khan at a length to have an opinion on it. I know that people get.
that's my take on Happy New Year. I think, but I
No,
think
I
that
watched
you are
Happy
very
New Year in
confident
December.
about not liking, right? Yeah.
Me and Jaya Bachchan both agree that it's a shit film.
Oh, Jaya Bachchan said it.
Yeah. I'll just go
Okay.
and get my food. Give me a
Absolutely.
moment.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna blabber with Chris in who's in the live stream ka chat. How are you, Chris? So yes, I know you saw it on your birthday. I watched it the second time in the past, like this the 2 months made the second time I watched it. The first time I watched it, I really liked it. Second time I watched it with a couple of my cousins who really liked it also, which was not shocking to me because I know their sense of humor. But I was glad that they went past the preconceived perception of this film as a turd, because if you see the IMDb ratings, this is my first note for the film that we're going to discuss today. Possibly the lowest rated movie brackets on any public movie site we'll have on this type of episode, which is probably true. I don't think we'll have any movie that is consistently lampooned by people on a list which is like favorites of this month or whatever. Through yes, we do, and it's great. I agree. I can still that movie is quotable like anything. There's a lot of stuff in it that I think is inspired in terms of writing, and I think we'll be arguing also how much of it's a Farah Khan film and how much of it's Shirish Kundar film, because I think there's a nice division to make between those. Maybe someday in our lives, not that Shirish Kundar or Farah Khan need more recognition and success, because they are, at least Farah Khan's movies are incredibly successful. Um, Maybe someday we'll call them and tell them how much we love their movies, I guess. Yeah, only for you and myself, I think. And then there's Happy News, a guilty pleasure watch for me. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm curious to now watch it. I'm even curious to watch Joker by Shirish Kundar, another film which has been lampooned by everyone left, right, and center. So, how stupid can stupid get? I like his stupidity. I think he knows how stupid his movies are. I think he takes joy in creating them stupidly but artfully. I think if you guys know me and Chris did, whoever listens to it after the live stream, because I only see one person who is Chris right now. So Chris and me did an episode on his behalf also, because he especially talks about this topic a lot on his Twitter feed. Go and follow him there if you want. Chris, you can plug your Twitter handle here if you're interested. But we've talked a lot about camp and gay sensibility, and how much Farah Khan's filmography in general and something like Tismar Khan in particular also fits into that category. Someday we will definitely be doing an extended episode, I think, on Farah Khan and Shirish Kundar's work. It's not coming soon, which is why I've included Tismar Khan in my discussion, because there's a bunch of other films which I would have included in our discussion today. Well, I'm discussing with Chris essentially. Both of my co-hosts are absent as of now. That other films which I'm not including in my favorites, at least for this month, are for this discussion, is because we are talking about them very soon. One of them is AI, artificial intelligence, and that is going to be, we are going to be discussing that tomorrow. Me, Varun, me, Amartya, and Hemant are going to be discussing that as part of our final Stanley Kubrick episode. And the second movie which I wanted to recommend but I'm not recommending, which I can't recall now, is it's I Saw the TV Glow, which has already gotten lamp blasted by Amartya in our best of episode, if you want to watch that. So if those two movies are sound like curiosities to you, I will write those names down here and you can add them to your watch list if you're interested. Both of them are lovely films, I think. So I am just typing them. Intelligence. Where is this? That is Steven Spielberg's film as one, and the second one was I Saw the TV Glow, which Amartya's. I'm glad that Amartya is not here, because I would have gotten looks for that also. So today is that sort of episode.
Given the state of the monsoon in the country, I wouldn't be surprised if Amartya is out helping like rescue boats reach people.
You think Amartya is the one who will rescue people?
No, he's giving directions.
Okay. कि आप इस साइड जाओ, यहाँ पे डूबने जाओ, like that way. बचने के लिए तो नहीं. He would. I take him as a person who would be happier, and I'm not that separate from him. If there was more population control in the country, and
what is this?
It's only Chris here, so it's fine. We can make these sorts of. I'm the only one who cares about. Okay, fine.
I don't think you learned from our Chamkila episode that somebody could watch the recording and get upset.
Anyways, I think Amartya is here. I will add him to stage. I apologize for any internet disconnections or any inconveniences caused by it, because the weather here in Delhi has also been a bit rocky.
It's bad here too, yeah.
Yeah, so everywhere the connection might be a bit iffy, but we will try our best to firstly keep it short, and secondly,
Yeah.
um, be more energetic than I sound now. So once again, Amartya, I'm adding you to the live stream.
Hello.
Hi
I
Amartya, how are you? Varun, where is your comment? आप लेट इतने हो गए, कुछ तो बोलो. वैसे तो
मैंने
इतनी
बोला था
गालियां
ना
देते
वैसे,
हो.
मैंने
अच्छा.
स्टार्टिंग में बोला था, मैंने बोला
Okay.
मुझे आज प्रॉब्लम नहीं है अगर लेट हुए, सो आई कुड हैव फिनिश्ड हम दोनों, बट आई पॉज्ड
Ah,
इट.
okay.
I mean the movie is almost at an end, so it's okay.
Did you
It was
like
a
it?
good, really good movie. Really, I do
Wow.
recommend.
Shock.
Oh,
Congratulations. Sun
I like
blessed
Vijay
उठ रहा
Anand
है.
also. I like
Sun
Vijay
Yeah.
rose
Anand.
from the west today. Varun
Sunny
liked
नहीं
the
rise हुआ
movie.
सर.
हाँ यार वही प्रॉब्लम
हाँ.
है.
Uh,
Yeah.
150
प्रॉब्लम नहीं है
trains.
सर, अंधेरा तो अच्छी बात होती है.
नहीं,
नहीं सर.
हर वक्त नहीं. हर वक्त.
Anyways,
It was like
so
भाई यहाँ
yeah,
बाढ़ आ गई और मैं
What
चला
is
जाऊँ
this
मेरे को पता.
commentary going on about a movie? Oh, the Tismar Khan shit. Arvind, no, Tismar Khan is not worth the watch. Do not listen to these people, huh? Please don't.
these people नहीं, only there's two. Don't lump Varun into it. It's only me and Chris.
Yeah, don't listen to
As of
them.
now.
Don't listen.
But I also said that.
Chris ko to mati sunno. He liked four. He gave 4.5 to Air Dile
You
Mushkil. He
know,
gave 5 to Tismar Khan. He gave
एक
3.5 to.
लॉयल लिसनर है अमरजीत.
He
एक
gave.
लॉयल लिसनर की कीमत
He
जानो सर,
gave.
आप जानो.
He gave 3.5 to Pother Pachali. I watched 10 minutes of Pother Pachali today. Those 10 minutes are better than ADHM ka entire runtime along with an extended cut that is never coming.
Yeah, but that's because you've not got the time to get bored, na, in Pathar Panchali. Sorry. So I love the movie. I'm just making a counter argument because I love all these movies that have been mentioned. I love all of them. So there can be a place where I also like 1, 2, and 3.
Bengali inside you, Amartya, that's rising to the top.
सर वो खुद का फ्रस्ट्रेशन है, आपने देखी नहीं है ना अभी तक पौथर पंचाली, इसीलिए.
It's not frustration. I finally decided I might just take the plunge. Then I was starting to watch 10
Watch
minutes
the
and I got
whole.
busy with something else. So I
No,
was
watch
like,
the whole trilogy though. It's worth
Thematically
watching.
very interesting, but I mean, I'm not. We had it in a film studies class, so I don't know if it's a great introduction to cinema.
no, it
Because
isn't.
it could be a
It
little
isn't.
hardcore
It
about.
isn't. 100% it isn't. I can tell you this as a Bengali. It definitely isn't.
No, that
Uh,
I don't
what
think
isn't?
genuinely
Sorry, I missed what you said. My fault.
Pother
There's 3
Panchali
listeners
is
now,
not
so we better tread carefully with the Pothar Panchali slander
No.
if it's coming
No,
anywhere.
I'm
no,
not
where
saying.
I
I'm
was just
saying that
saying that.
it is not a good opener to any film study thingy.
Yeah,
Especially
it's a
It's
terrible
a
introduction. I think
it's
in the
a
past,
continuation of Italian neorealism. Why would you
no,
like? I don't think
no,
there's a
that's
or
that's
whatever.
more academic. But
Huh?
if you look at like general sensibility, no
Huh?
reader starts off reading like the hardcore literary fiction writers of.
why
Nobody
na? What
starts with
Chris is
P.H.
saying.
Lawrence or
Yeah. What Chris is
people
saying. Film
start at an
studies ka
earlier.
class mein, it was the first film he watched for it. That's not how
I'm
you do it.
surprised that that is the first film they would make you see. What is
Funnily
the
enough,
film class you're taking, Chris? That's the other discussion, of course.
so see when in my course, because at the master's level it was an additional elective that we had to take, and the guy was not being very generous with marks, so that was one reason. Plus I was into cinema, so I was like, "हाँ,
Of
ले लेते
course.
हैं." मेरे को नहीं पढ़ना है न्यूक्लियर फिजिक्स बैठ के, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है ये सब. तो
टाइम नहीं सर,
हाँ, मैं
न्यूक्लियर फिजिक्स का
ओपनहाइमर
टाइम
2 बार देख लूंगा, समझ आ जाएगा सब कुछ.
देख लेंगे, समझ आ
हाँ.
जाओगे ना.
because
वही ना.
I get the narrative drama, I don't get the science.
Okay.
So anyway,
समझ
so
गया.
I was like Girish Kasaravali, Satyajit Ray, Aditya Ghatak. These are great filmmakers. Manikal, they are great filmmakers. But an introduction to Indian cinema, or let's go a little more specific, to Hindi cinema. Oddly enough, of the whole class, only one film felt like a more proper introduction to the sort of stuff that is made, which was Sri Char Sonis, which is more populist. And you need to aim for that at the beginning at least before you're like, okay,
But it was a Indian cinemas or Bollywood?
Indian cinemas.
Indian.
No,
Okay.
but I think it's also the fact that you need to specify, you need to get a lane. You always, when you're starting out something, keep in mind this is coming from somebody who has never taken a film studies class in his life. The only knowledge he has is watching too many movies at this point. Anyway,
Which is
so
film studies.
yeah. Anyway,
Yes.
so the only step you can do is take an accessible route.
Yes.
As a Bengali, I can say this: Pother Pachali is not your accessible route.
Yeah. I
You
mean, it's
cannot
maybe it's an
accessible
accessible
route.
route for Western students. I would say maybe,
Probably
Sir,
possibly.
sir, Western
because
students when
Italian
they start
neoliberalism
with,
they'll already
yeah,
have done.
नहीं मैं तो
yeah,
I'm speaking from a point of view where I was in New York and I took a class and even then we didn't start with Pauthar Panchali. We started with
Border.
Avara out of all
Awara,
things. No no
exactly.
no वो तो
No, no,
पहुंच गए थे सर बॉर्डर के
no, no,
टाइम तक
because
तो
no, no, because
बॉर्डर पार करने का
Avara is no, no, because Avara is comedy, right? Avara is an accessible
it's not
genre. It's a,
comedy.
it's
I
a
mean,
happy,
it's not a
Avara is not
comedy.
comedy.
It's a
it's a
noirish melodrama.
yeah, yeah, whatever. My point being, there is a genre there. There is a genre
There
there you can
is.
specifically identify. It's not a specific style. Like Ray was going, and I disagree entirely with the fact that it's poverty porn. Again, all coming from 10 minutes which I have seen. Pother
पूरा
Pachal is
देखो ना.
anything but Pother Pachal is anything but poverty porn. I disagree wholeheartedly. I've seen poverty porn.
अरे,
This is not poverty.
you don't need to convince me. I'm the fan. I wrote a freaking paper on it, so you know I'm a big. I've seen it 2-3 times, so it's not like I need to be convinced. I really like it, but I get why people don't like it. If that makes sense.
This
Very
could
much
be
I get
termed
it.
poverty porn considering the class from which Satyajit Ray comes from. He belonged to a very affluent household, so from his perspective, you can
But
take a read that this is poverty
took a
porn. But
lot of
yes,
troubles to get it made. It's not like he made it out of just like
No,
it
but
was
that is because you're talking about early 50s India, which is
early
not,
50s.
or mid 50s
yes,
India, which is not particularly rich. The half the film industry had gone to Pakistan, either
Yeah,
in the eastern half or the western
yes.
half.
yeah,
You are also talking about the fact that the government was like, look, we need to fund daily existence, and that is more important
Yes.
than cinema at the
yes.
moment.
Then say entertainment or
But
movies or whatever.
it
Yeah.
was, I think, the West Bengal government that uh, took on the opportunity and decided to fund all of the
Ah,
opportunity.
Yeah.
the West Bengal government. Once upon a
Yeah.
time, कुछ
Once upon
करते
a
थे
No,
ये
time,
but
लोग,
no. I
कुछ
mean,
करते थे ये लोग काम
I'm
के.
sure. Have we done? We've done a Ray episode, right?
We
yeah,
have
I
done
think
I'm.
so.
Calcutta trilogy.
We have done Calcutta trilogy, the 70s films, but we've
Yeah,
never done
yeah.
a Pauthar Panchali,
Pother
Aparajito,
Pachal
and
I would say a better
Popushan.
introduction to Ray is Shatranj Ke Khiladi because it's a damn funny film.
A better
And
introduction to Ray is
1970s.
Feluda. Better introduction
Huh,
to Ray is
Feluda.
Feluda. Yeah. Though
You can also
that's how
get to
we
know
got in.
Varun's opinions on that. So
That's how we got in. Or Goopy Guy or the Goopy Guy in Bhagavan duology. Don't watch the third part that is directed by his son. That is not as good. The two
Sandeep
duology
Ray
movies.
Slander.
Yes.
I will tell you when it's 20 minutes so that we can start our episode after we do Pauthar Panchali slander. But
Sir, I didn't do any slander.
no, you two are safe, sir. Even I am safe because I like the movie a lot. Okay, even though my ratings for the other two movies are equivalent to Chris's, I have rated it higher than ADHM and Tismar Khan. So on that relative level, I am safe.
That's
But anyways,
I'm so glad as a Bengali that you rated Pother Pachali Oporadita Doku Function above
no, not all of
ADHM.
them. No, not all of them. Apur Sansar is less than the other two, but that is another time ka discussion. Though, yes. Because I don't. No, you can absolutely. I don't think anyone should be stopped to. I think if there is like, I don't think the poverty porn thing clicks with me, but I can very much. The whole criticism of Ray in general of adopting Western aesthetics to tell Indian stories is something which is worth arguing. I think
If you're going to criticize Ray for that, you need to criticize Sen for taking all the French New Wave aesthetics and involving that into
whatever.
it.
Like that's a whole
But
strain of
okay,
filmmaking.
no, I'll tell you
Sorry,
very
हाँ,
simply
बोलो.
put it, that you're talking about a sense of education. Otherwise, we'd be castigating Vijay Anand for taking from films like
Exactly, 100%.
Stanley
Yeah,
Donen's films or
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
the early Bond.
I
But
think
the thing is that if you
Ray had just
you were
to
fine.
clarify, Ray had a fairly, and again, people might agree with him, people might disagree with him still, or maybe the opinions change over time or whatever.
Sir,
But he had a fairly,
सर किससे बात कर रहे हो?
sir, जो भी
बंगाल से आए
देखेगा
हो,
ये.
बंगाल से आए हो, अभी भी ओपिनियन चलता ही रहता है रिगार्डिंग रे. इट्स फाइन, बोलो.
Yeah, but that's because your industry is also in the dumps, no, at this point in time. So it's
मेरा
like
इंडस्ट्री
you.
सिर्फ डम्प्स में नहीं है, स्टेट ही डम्प्स में है. आधा से ज्यादा लोग अभी भी रे के पीछे ही पड़े हैं. वो
मतलब
छोड़ो.
but the Bengali film industry in particular is in dumps, no, compared to even Bollywood se bhi zyada dumps mein, right? I'm talking
Not
even
really.
talking.
बहुत dumb.
They're neck and neck.
I mean, they, as in Bollywood is approaching that level. You're saying, fair enough.
Bollywood hasn't approached it yet because they have money. We तो
एक
don't have
और
money. We तो don't have money also.
Really don't.
नहीं नहीं सर, उड़ाने के लिए तो हैं पैसे, वो तो उड़ा ही रहे हैं.
मेरे
अब
महबूब मेरे सनम.
देख लिया आपने? We are
I
not
haven't.
talking about bad news,
I
guys. Sorry. You will not get the satisfaction of us. Of me telling Amartya and Varun to trudge through that pile of dog shit. It is so bad. I went and
cannot
watched
be-
it.
It cannot be worse than Oti Uttam. It
It
cannot.
might not be, yeah. So yeah, this is a favorites episode, yeah. Just to clarify, not a what's the
Are you
worst
sure
thing
about
made in
that?
our industry in this year. Anyways, no, we are doing favorites, which we do every month now. Every first week of the month, I feel, when nothing comes out. Still haven't.
This
Yeah, but
month
what's
I
there?
think
What else is there to say, Chris? I mean, it is just bad. Like it's like the Shaitan examples. Take it as a textbook example of how not to direct a movie.
Is it as bad as Avatan Mere Vatan? Matlab, is it boring? Is it so boring that you?
It's annoying. It's
Oh,
annoying.
that's worse.
Huh.
That's-
Like because the
that's
direction is also insanely annoying. It's also annoying more because Anand Tiwari has made a half decent film before this. So
Well, at least he proved
And
to
the
you that
show.
he's human. At least he proved to
he
you that
made
he's
Bandish, that bandit,
Bandits,
whatever.
yeah.
Two
Okay.
shows then. Bandish Bandits
Okay.
and Band Baja Bharat का concept था वो.
I don't know. I've only seen his Love Per. Okay, I've only seen Love Per Square Foot, which was very watchable, very decent. Very decent meaning अब तीन out of 5 type का normal.
My rating
हाँ,
for
ये एक है बैड न्यूज, ये वैसी पिक्चर है. सो यू नो इट्स दैट बैड.
एक भी बहुत है. I give halves nowadays. एक भी
सर आप
बहुत है.
देखते भी इतने हो ना, हम नहीं देखते इतनी, तो क्या करें. हाफ की नौबत नहीं आती जनरली. फिंगर्स क्रॉस नहीं आएगी. और इस साल
जो साल चल रहा है, I can't actually promise anything.
probably yes.
It just got
Anyways,
unpacked here today, so anything is possible.
you guys still have to slander the new Anubhav Sinha show, which you will
You don't
do
have to
in
slander
due
it.
time, I
We won't
think.
slander. It's not as bad that we have to slander. It's not as
not-
bad that
but-
we can do
It's
anything.
not-
We are
It's
just
not worth talking about.
Yeah, because we had planned that maybe we might discuss that today, right? As opposed to our favorites thing. But I guess you both watched it and didn't care for it much at all. So
I mean, it didn't offer what it promised. Very very basically, like there's
Okay.
a lot.
So
more-
ironically, this is unlike Anek. This needed to be a movie, and that needed to be a show.
this definitely
Oh,
needed
okay.
to be a
I'll
movie.
tell
First
you-
of all,
I'll tell you, like, very quickly. Let's just discuss it and get it done with.
Yeah,
I
just
got
get
it.
it done first.
I
What
think
is the
it is what-
title? I will type it
I
here.
see
This one for the
814
Kandahar hijack,
Kandahar hijack.
which is
Yes, I was going to
first
say
of all the
attack.
wrong title because the aircraft was hijacked at Kathmandu.
Yes, exactly. I was like Kathmandu बोलो ना.
Netflix
Kandahar
पर है
क्यों
ना?
कह रहे हो? Yeah.
Netflix.
Okay, I'm
No,
just
but
typing it here.
But
Quick
also-
review. Quick review
I
मतलब मैं 5 मिनट में मुंह बंद करने के लिए बोल दूंगा. That
Can I
type.
just
हाँ.
say? Can I just say? First of all, this mini series needed to commit on whether it wants to be a dramatic mini series or a documentary. Please, for the love of Christ, commit to
As
something.
in it's like docudrama, but like not good.
Yeah,
Sort of.
it has. Yeah. It has narratives. It has star cast. It has actors. Like it has it has actual footage and it has narration also. I'm like, commit to
Huh?
something for the love of
But
Christ.
why? Just to add authenticity?
Yes.
It doesn't actually. It ruins the show.
No, I'm
because-
asking because
No,
it might detract also.
Example, I'll give you a very simple example. Pankaj Kapoor plays a stand-in for the Indian External Affairs Minister. His character name is supposed to be Vijay Bhan Singh. Now,
Okay.
the character is given enough details in the show for you to get that this is Jaswant Singh,
Okay.
right? Former Fauji hai, and coalition sarkar mein hai and all that.
Mhm.
And then out of the blue, you get archival footage of Jaswant Singh, and it takes you completely out of the show because then it defeats the entire purpose. Then call him Jaswant Singh.
Okay. Oh, they used like in the archival footage they used the names and everything which are not the same.
Who's the actual
Yeah.
person, right?
Yeah, they use
No,
the actual
but no, but I thought they are just using key evidence as in like
No,
bina
no, no,
audio ke.
No.
Oh, they're showing actual things.
Yeah.
It's like, see, it's very distracting because as an Indian viewer, I know who Jaswant Singh is. To an American, it may not make that much of a difference. I don't honestly care for the name dropping of Osama and to try and build up
Build up
something.
hype.
What the hell? Osama wasn't
Ironically,
really interested in us as a country.
yeah,
You know,
ironically.
we were really on the periphery of his world view, as it
Okay.
were. And the thing is that when the pilot emerges from the cockpit on the seventh day, we've been told, yeah, bathrooms kharab ho gaye the. We see him fixing the toilet also, but he doesn't have a stubble. 7 दिन में इस बंदे ने एक बार शेव
Clean
नहीं किया,
shaven.
but like 7 दिन में
7 दिन
अमर्त्य goes from pre-pubescent boy to
to
drunken scientist.
yeah, full on. Like Tarzan hasn't shaved in decades, basically. Yeah,
Okay.
But
I
Got it.
agree.
Vijay Verma is like about to step into a fashion catalog. And again,
But you have
take
documentary footage then interjecting time by time to.
of the pilot
Of
as
the
he
pilot,
emerged at
yeah,
Delhi
yeah, as
airport.
he emerges,
He has a
yeah.
stubble and he's looking all harried and everything.
It's
The
very
stubble bhi
odd.
nahi, he has beard only. He has full
Ah,
beard
Do,
only.
do you think they just use the documentary footage for padding out the length of
I
the
think so,
show?
but then I can then say just remove the whole journalist angle because
Yeah.
Amrita Puri plays
यहाँ
this
पे भी
one
जर्नलिस्ट एंगल लगा हुआ है इसका पूरा,
obnoxiously
जैसे वो
stupid
भीड़
joke.
में था.
कुछ काम का नहीं है, कुछ काम का
Oh,
नहीं है वो.
okay.
You can remove it entirely. कुछ
There
काम
is
का नहीं
there
है.
is some sort of homoerotic angle at play with them, with Dia Mirza and
हाँ.
Amrita Puri.
With the Amirza and
Ah,
Amrita Puri, which I was
But
like,
okay.
okay, explore that. Why not, please?
why?
Ah,
Yeah, go there. Let's see what you're getting at, right? If that is your, or if you're just
Yeah.
making conjecture, then create fully fledged out characters. But you're not doing that either. You're
I
just
thought
trying
that
to
was the whole. I thought that was the
convince
whole argument we made during when we discussed Bheed and Anek, that he needs to go more into
Sir,
a
I
mini
wasn't
series
in
because he made
Sir, I wasn't in the Anek discussion, thank God.
Anek नहीं तो, but भीड़ में you weren't there also. What?
I wasn't there in Veer also.
But in both the movies though, the whole idea was that they are extremely overstuffed for narrative features and that he would benefit much more if he got an expanded format to explore these things.
Sir, he has the
Too
same
fast.
problem which Bhansali had with Hiramandi.
Okay.
Information है, narrative है, arrange कैसे करना है बंदे को पता नहीं है.
No, I think it's
Yes.
also, see, the
That's
Kandahar
also very true.
hijack is a very recent event in a collective memory.
I saw some controversy today also about the name
अरे वो
changes.
controversy
And,
वो controversy भी करे वो छोड़ो.
अच्छा,
वो
it's
नहीं
not
बोल
over.
रहे. Okay.
But
Yeah,
it's recent enough, and the people who we released in the Kandahar negotiations are significant enough in the larger
they are
scheme
very
of things
significant.
for something like this to matter. So then
Hmm.
I think when you make a show like this, which is based on real events, you have to keep in mind that this is still we our whole perception of air travel has been completely altered by the Kathmandu hijack of 814.
Yeah.
Right, our whole idea of going up to the boarding gate almost and seeing off people has completely changed. For what for the world was 9/11 in terms of safety and regulations in the West.
Yeah.
Yet a lot of it was Kandahar because we became more suspicious of traveling by air, and I think Nasiruddin Shah mentions this in the promotions that when the hijacking happened, I got a little rattled for real because I had just started to travel by air on a normal basis, and it was suddenly very rattling that somebody could just board an aircraft and hijack it so easily. So you need to keep these facts in mind when you're making a show. You can't treat Masood Azhar or Zargar or Omar Said Sheikh with any sort of lightness because
with
these
any
people
sort of
are
cavalierness or
they're
nonchalance. You can't do
terrible
that.
human beings. Like they're among the worst people to walk.
I'm
this planet.
surprised then this sounds like it would be like fairly gripping material for a
But
documentary.
that's the problem. And what
Oh,
Varun,
but
what
who's going
Varun,
to give you the sign off to make the documentary?
On
But
Netflix तो नहीं चलता.
Sir, the
Netflix-
government is embarrassed. BJP.
अच्छा, as in okay, from India side,
No, no.
okay, got it.
But also the fact of the matter is what Varun is also, I think Varun is also trying to say is that show itself is like, again, I loathe using this word because I think it is lazy criticism, but the show is genuinely boring. It's like first 3 episodes, I
Nothing
texted in the group only, nothing is happening. Literally nothing is happening.
As in
I
what?
was
It's just like कुछ character
Yeah,
development
I
and
was like-
whatever.
They're trying
Arey,
to
sir.
do something, but like
Yeah,
even the lethargy
एनर्जी
of
नहीं
the
है, एनर्जी नहीं है,
crisis
कोई
management
फ्रेम
group
पे
is not
एनर्जी नहीं है. now I know somebody might say कि ये तो मसाला मूवी नहीं है, एनर्जी क्यों चाहिए? I was like, listen, stakes तो है, this is a real life event, stakes तो है,
Yep.
you
You
can
know,
construct events and
yeah.
build up.
No, forget about that. I found it very strange how they treated the whole Amritsar stopover with such breeziness, right? It
Yeah,
happened
yeah,
so quickly.
100%. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, it happened quickly in real life, but you can draw out the tension of those 45 minutes into a half an hour episode. That could be like, the
That would
passengers think,
that
okay,
would
we
be
have
actually
landed in,
good. Yeah,
you know,
that would be actually good.
instead you constantly either cut back to Diya Mirza and to Amrita Puri, or you're cutting to there's a whole track with Yashpal Sharma who plays an intelligence officer going and interrogating Masood Azhar in Jammu's Court Bhalwal jail, and वो झापड़ मार देता है Masood Azhar को, and I'm like, what's the whole point of this track?
Also,
Okay.
what's with the freaking color palette? ये क्या American movies of the 90s or 2000s है क्या?
क्या
मतलब
नीला है क्या? ब्लू ग्रीन?
काठमांडू का कलर
बोल
पैलेट
रहे हो?
फुल ब्लू है, ठीक है, काठमांडू का कलर पैलेट फुल ब्लू है.
आप
And
अमेरिकन बोल रहे हो, मेरे को I went straight to Sanjay Gupta.
you went straight to Sanjay Gupta. I know, 100%.
That is the biggest non-motivation you've given me to watch this. Even though I consider myself somewhat of an Anubhav Sinha fan of some whatever movies, like I like 2-3 of his movies a fair bit, but
The Kashmir, the jail
don't-
का
don't-
interrogation
don't,
reminded me of Mexico. Like extraction में जो कलर पैलेट था ना इंडिया का,
Wow.
मेक्सिको कलर
ढाका.
पैलेट वो वैसा है. हाँ, ढाका
Yeah.
बेसिकली. Jesus Christ, ये क्या है? ये फिल्म मेकिंग है?
that is, on that note, we will switch to our favorite films of the last month, favorite rewatches / watches of the last month. We all are doing 2 movies each to keep it
I forgot
fairly
what I was going to talk about, but okay.
about John Woo movies, if I'm not
This is like-
wrong.
yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's what those were the ones that you mentioned on the chat. And Varun ko I told to talk about. So yeah, you both actually have directorial
We have good movies.
emphasis.
We have actual good movies.
See, I was so prepared for today that I can't even muster a what the f- are you saying sort of reaction, because I'm just like, theek hai, par focus. And I understand it in the case of Tismar Khan even, but my other movie is a good recommendation. Okay,
See, I will
good as in like
I will
good.
respect both yours and Chris's choices by only having a poker face and not saying anything when you will be
That is-
waxing poetic
that
about
is-
the
A
movie.
poker face and 2 drinks for each time they say Kumar Khan.
I need that.
Khano mein
Yes.
Khan. Yes.
It has begun already. Yes. Anyway.
Chris, I think we'll get to it. Don't worry. But before that, I think let's.
It slaps only. It literally slaps you across the face.
I can't let that go without reminding people of the Shah Rukh Khan Shirish Kundar.
Shirish Kundar and Shah Rukh Khan dispute, and Shah Rukh Khan gets a nice. Shah Rukh Khan gets the biggest privilege in this movie by having Akshay Khanna play him. To be very honest, because Akshay Khanna does a remarkable job of making fun of that
Important
sort
rare
of
people
performance.
Akshay Khanna has played in films. Shah Rukh Khan and now Aurangzeb.
Yeah. I think I've got more people who've joined who are curious because I think of the Tismar Khan suggestion. But anyways, we will be नौकरी क्या करते अच्छा जिसकी नौकरी क्या करते बता दो अमर्त्य.
This is like such a massive backhanded slap. It's like इतना movies कैसे देखते हो? नौकरी
नहीं वो तीसमार खान देख लिया ना वहाँ पे इसलिए नौकरी क्या करते हो. फिल्म क्रिटिक तो हो नहीं सकते वो पिक्चर तो नहीं.
वो पिक्चर तो नहीं होना चाहिए.
Anyways, I think so all of us are in. Sorry, say.
नौकरी मतलब जिससे पैसा मिलता है वो तो फिल्म क्रिटिसिज्म है अभी, और जो एक्चुअल काम था वो तो था पीएचडी.
वो हो गया ना अभी डॉक्टर बनने वाले हो.
हाँ अब तो बुलाने का टाइम आ गया है. व्हाट द फक आर यू डूइंग हियर अहिंद्रिला? एनीवे
I was stringing off the swearing, but okay. Transition, I mean, which is fine, which is also true, half true.
That is also I'm kidding.
Um,
I'm kidding, Ahinjila. But anyway.
But if you want to listen to our informed discussions where we
Yes, I was
actually
just
make
going to
decent points, then you can listen to our Stanley Kubrick podcast because we spend a bunch of time on it, like for preparing also.
To Vedansh, there is another episode of ours. Not even episode. It's like a live stream only where we actually talked about our origin story. where we actually talked about our origin story.
Oh yeah, that's true. We
Yeah.
talked about what our interests were, na? Like how we
What our
began
interests
film
were, how
into
we
this,
began.
or how
Yes,
we
yes,
got into nonsensical nonsense,
yes,
essentially,
yes. Basically,
where
yeah.
we don't get paid much or at all.
Amartya
So
also
yes,
does a noble cause. He feeds the hungry people of Jalpaiguri.
yes, by charging them.
By
With
charging
his
them, yes.
stock.
That might
That's
have
fair,
been.
but
That
it's
might have been.
categorically a correct description of what he also does, so which is very true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I
and
am a total
Varun
good
is
guy
leaving the
for bringing
country.
praise. Yeah, Varun is
No,
leaving the country. He doesn't like this
I'm
country
between
anymore.
jobs. I'm between jobs. I lost my job started in July, and then I
Yeah,
was hired
Varun
as
entered the job and the job ka company
And the
went.
job actually went out. Job company उठ गई.
हम लोग का
but
पॉडकास्ट भी कभी ना कभी बंद होएगा तो वही रीजन होएगा.
but मेरे आने के बाद 1 साल तो हो गया है, तो यू आर स्टिल गोइंग आउट डूइंग ऑलराइट.
और
But
किसी
no,
ने ज्वाइन नहीं किया ना जिसको हम जानते हैं. अगर
Nobody
जानते
else
तो
has
उनको ब्लेम
joined
कर
yet.
देते.
Nobody
the
else
आप
has
उन
joined yet.
no, for the
हाँ.
uninitiated, I worked at Film Companion for a bit, and soon
It's
after
one
I
of these only, Vedansh. It was favorite.
so
It was either
yeah,
favorites only, right?
one of the
It
Was
was
it?
favorites.
favorites. It
So
was
it's either
favorites.
favorites of the. It had 5 people. So if you
हाँ,
like hover over it, you'll see
उसमें
5 people का
Yeah.
the
चेहरा
filmmaker
essentially.
Ranjit and the fake doctor
हम भी
Aryan.
नहीं करते बट हम सह लेते हैं. हम लोग अच्छे हैं ज़्यादा.
We are very polite.
Yeah.
We are very polite.
Yeah. But yes, thank you, Andrila, for listening. I think you will have a blast when we talk about Tismar Khan, especially. Chris, thank you for finding the episode, and yeah, if you could link it here, perfect for Vedansh if he's interested in
Yeah.
actually knowing how useless we are.
At this point, Chris is the
Dhruv is a
cosmic
reluctant heir by profession. He is rich, but he doesn't want to be rich.
That's a profession. Reluctant heir. That's a profession.
I wish I could
Even-
hide my identity.
No,
He's
even that
Aurangzeb, but in
profession.
reverse.
No, even that profession, even having that profession is a privilege.
It is privilege. I agree. Which is why I'm not talking about Air Dil Hai Mushkil today.
Dhruv is a person
Because
of
that
privilege
is.
who accepts that he is privileged, unlike other people in South Bombay.
I'm not. Don't compare me to Sobo. Shut up.
To Anya Pandey.
You're so deep. You're so deep. Doesn't matter.
So Sodi, yes. Anyways, can we start with the movies first? I'm going to first talk about the film which is on our cover, which occupies the center of it, as opposed to the corner of it, which is a deliberate choice
Thank God.
to not get us
Thank
barred.
Yes, thank God.
But but Varun, yes. So we'll begin with Varun. So essentially, Varun and Amartya are doing two filmmakers ka films only, because like they are talking about two films from.
Wait, you're
No, no,
forcing
I
me to
will
talk
do- I
about
will
the
do-
red shoes.
Yeah.
I am
I'll do
forcing
two-
you to talk about the red shoes
I'll
because I
do two
told you
different-
this.
I'll do two different movies.
Whatever your choice. I know whatever you guys had mentioned on the group, so I'm just mentioning that. Your guys to deviate. You are only allowed 2 movies to recommend because we have 38 minutes in and we haven't started talking about our favorites. So Varun, please
So,
proceed with.
I was
The red
supposed
shoes
to-
आपको कंपलसरी है, बट उसके अलावा आप एक
I
और
was
जो भी
supposed to
पकड़ना
write a
पकड़.
piece on the Powell and Pressburger films alongside the documentary by David Hinton, Made in England, that came out about them recently, which is absolutely
Which you loved.
absolutely boring. But that's besides the point. The piece fell through; it didn't work out, and
Okay.
the people with whom I write for a newsletter, we were like, okay, we'll just junk it for now.
Okay.
And apologies to Prakhar, who worked hard as well.
Who will be joining us sometime also.
at some point? Yeah.
Because unlike
So-
Varun, I'm not going to let that episode go into the dumps.
Sir, it's not my fault. I don't have a US PayPal account.
Can we move on,
So
please, from
anyway,
financial
so-
dire straits to something
Yes.
else?
To regular dire straits. I don't listen to their music anyway.
Hendrila, that is a fantastic joke. Applaud.
That is a fantastic joke.
That is a
yes.
great joke, especially when
Yeah.
you live in Delhi and
Fantastic.
probably experience that every weekend.
I think it's worse in the States from whatever I've experienced, but yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
See, that is the one
So-
good thing about Jalpaiguri. कोई ads नहीं है. घुसो movie start हो जाता है. That is
मूवी
the
नहीं
one.
आती सर, कोई क्या देखोगे वहाँ
Exactly
पे
ना.
आप?
Exactly ना.
Anyways, Varun, two from the
Amartya still plays on a tablecloth for the children of the
like Pathar Panchali.
Pathak Pathak, yes.
So
Anyways,
yeah,
Varun, yeah,
so
go ahead.
I think I watched about 8 films of theirs, and there's only
Yeah,
one I would actively not recommend, which is
yeah.
Night Ambush or Ill Met by Moonlight, which is the last film they made
We
together.
are not talking
But
about those movies, but
yeah,
yes, yeah.
so among the films that I watched was the centerpiece, really, of or the crowning glory, as it were, which was the 40s. Large
Yeah,
chunk of the 40s they spent making really, really solid cinema. And the
yeah.
Red Shoes was, I mean, I'm not talking about it just because Dhruv forced me to, but I did really quite like it quite a lot.
I didn't
Uh,
force you to talk about anything. You
he put
listed me
the
a bunch
photo
of
like,
movies. You
Move
listed me
on.
5 movies.
Move on. Move
Anyways,
on.
go ahead.
so
Yes. What is the release date ka year? I'm gonna just put it here.
1948.
48. Okay. Because they made
1940.
a bunch of. They made so many movies in the 40s and
Yeah.
50s. So
And I'm also just going to pull up the film because I need to remember some details. It's been a
sure.
while, and for me, August was a rather long month
Yeah.
in
As
August was a
in,
comparison to
long month for all of us,
congratulations
sir.
to Varun,
Congratulations
Varun's
to Varun's
family.
sister. Varun's sister,
to my
basically.
family, just my sister.
Except for Varun, congratulations to everyone.
Yes.
No,
Anyways,
congratulations to me also. For 20 days, I get to be an only child. I get to experience what Dhruv has experienced.
for 28 years. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead. The
So
Red
yeah, so
Shoes.
The Red Shoes is of course directed by Powell and Pressburger. It's based on a
Yeah.
Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale, which
Hmm.
apparently I have not read it. Surprise, surprise.
Hmm. Hmm.
But it stars Moira Scherer, Marius Goering,
Hmm.
and Anton Walbrook, whose actual
Hmm.
name was Adolf, which is great, very cool.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Good thing he
So
changed it then.
yeah, he had to. I think he was
Yeah, too.
Yeah.
a gay German who escaped the Nazis.
Yeah.
So
Regular
he had
collaborator with Powell and Pressburger.
Paul and
Right.
Pressburger. I think he
Yeah.
made 4 films with them.
Thank God
Yeah.
you
So
did
it's
not say regular
basically about.
collaborator with the other Adolf. That would have been funny.
See, it's not just me at fault. Okay, it's also my
I'm very quiet, Varun. Please proceed
but
with
yeah,
lavishing
sorry.
praise on myself for recommending these movies and then
Yeah,
at Powell and Pressburger for making them.
I'll go further back than just Dhruv. It was Jay Arjun Singh who sort of told us to watch
यहाँ पे भी
Paul
नहीं
and
अच्छी
Pressburger
तारीफ
movies.
मिलती क्या है
And
यार चलो कोई बात नहीं बोलो
because Jay is a professional critic, I decided to ask somebody who was a semi-professional like myself. And Dhruv was pretty effusive in how he worded his praise for those films, which is funny because the films are not all high or not all dispirited and down in the dumps. And
So
Dhruv is
one
pretty
of
much
the
that.
another instance of your preconceived notions of my liking of films being deconstructed. So yeah,
Yeah. So, but no, it's actually
I mean the
to
Red Shoes
me
is quite dispiriting, but okay.
it is dispiriting, but it's also very classical about the
Yeah,
push and pull of.
of course.
Of course, there's the personal and professional that you
Yeah.
can talk about. The film is basically about a ballerina
Yes.
who's asked to choose essentially between dancing or the man she loves,
Yeah.
and it has a rather dispiriting end, as Dhruv already said. But
Which we
to
don't
me,
need to spoil, but
no, we don't need
yeah.
to spoil, but
Hmm.
I think the film goes beyond just the professional and the personal, and we're also
Hmm.
it is very pointed in how it talks about how women have to make that choice.
Yes. Yeah.
A man need not, like Julian, who's played by Maris
Yeah.
Gehring, does not have to
Yeah.
make that choice. He can just as easily be a great pianist and be married. But
Yeah.
Maura Schurer's character she absolutely must make that choice.
Yeah.
And it is such a vividly made film that you're crushed by how it plays out because it
Yeah.
is, and there is something to be said for like Powell and Pressburger's use of color, especially. They use it very expressively and they
Yep.
use it excessively but really well. Like other
Yes.
directors don't necessarily do excess.
Because I was about to ask you because I know you are not one for artificiality and theatricality as much in film,
But
so
if
which
it's
is why
integrated into the narrative, like this narrative cuts
sure.
from the events of the film to events in the film quite seamlessly. Right? Like we
Yeah.
cut to the ballet, for instance.
I
I
mean, the
realized
ballet sequence is a pinnacle of, I would say, if you have like a rating scale, if you're doing the rating scale in diminishing art, it is a 10 out of 5, if that makes any sense, which is a bit of an issue for me for the rest of the film. But that I do think the centerpiece ballet sequence of the film is so extraordinary in the way it's staged and executed. It's,
while I really like the ballet bit, I differ on your love for it in the sense that it distracts me from the rest of the film,
okay.
which I think it's very well executed and is beautifully shot and everything. But to me, it is just a bit too long in how much time it spends away from the film.
Interesting. Okay.
And even though I like the larger film around it, and I think,
I think the larger film has a few misgivings. I feel there's like a slight, because I'm speaking as someone I watched this the last, weirdly enough, from a lot of Powell Pressburger films I've watched. So I watched it very recently, and I was a bit taken aback by how less the push and pull was actually established in the narrative sometimes,
it is
which is
very
my
subtle
only,
about
huh,
it. But
yeah,
I think that's tided over by A. Scherer's performance. She's phenomenal.
yes,
But
yeah,
also by Anton Walbrook. He is
he's
tremendous. It's like
incredible,
a
yeah,
tone for thing.
yeah,
And it's like an obsession with him.
yeah,
And you can sense that from the get go about him. So you know somewhere there's going to be a conflict between Guru and Shishya, if you want to call it that kind of relationship.
yeah.
And I appreciated the fact that Powell and Pressburger kept it that way. They didn't turn it into a pseudo romantic. It is
Yeah, as in the guy above, like the producer figure or whatever, is not romantically obsessed by her, but he's just of the belief that you have to choose between art or love. It's not, you
or
can't
love.
do
Yeah.
art and
Wonderful.
love, essentially. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
uh, it's like that. It actually funnily reminded me of Judd Hirsch's scene in
Fablemans.
Fablemans. Yeah, a little bit. But I
It'll
think
strip you apart, tear you apart, or whatever it was. Sorry.
Walbrook
Yeah.
plays it much colder, and
Yes.
I think that's why when the punches finally start landing, you are not you're not shocked, but you are a little taken aback by how remarkably unfeeling his character is,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
I
And
thought there is going to be some sort of transformation,
yeah,
or
I
something which
I
will had a
knew that given he treats people with such marked indifference, there wasn't going to be any changeover at any point. I think, and that was just phenomenal about the film. Of
yeah.
course, there are, for me, on the same plane, there are a bunch of other Paul and Pressburger films, but yeah, I do really recommend The Red Shoes and
And
Black Narcissus.
definitely the ending is also, the ending
It was
shot is kind of frozen in my memory, like just the way they use the
like
spotlight. Theaters.
not just that, you remember the frame. It's kind of
I'm
like,
trying to work. I'm trying to tiptoe around it as opposed to say
no, no,
what
no. So, for anybody
exactly it
who's
is.
watched
Yeah.
the last frame of Peter Weir's Gallipoli, it's a freeze frame that happens right at the end of the film, and the characters in frame are in motion. But that's an image that stays with you, even though it is not a very clear or distinct image in terms of clarity,
Sure.
because the mayhem and the chaos is what the film is about, and
The
the Red
blurriness, the emptiness of it
yeah,
defines the
finds the larger
absence
landscape of the
of
film.
sort of,
Yeah,
yeah. Sure.
and,
Got it.
I do recommend, of course, before I will subsequently talk about the other Paul and Pressburger film, but alongside the Red
Yeah.
Shoes, please watch Black Narcissus, A Matter of Life and Death, and
I am
their
very
first official
surprised that you
collaboration
like
with
Black
Red Shoes.
Narcissist. I'll be
I
very
hate
honest. I'm very curious to
I mean, the
watch.
whole push and pull. I think Roma Gordon. I've liked her memoir, which I've read, Rungli Rungli, or Thus Far and No Further, which is
Yeah.
about part of her life that she spent at a place north of Darjeeling and Singtam in the mid 40s. So basically, Amartya's. If you have to go there, just go see Amartya. He'll take you. He'll first depress you, then he'll take you to where Roma Gordon was
सर
writing
मैं
all this
गाइड
stuff.
नहीं हूँ सर मैं गाइड नहीं हूँ
You're not Devanand.
No, absolutely
That did
not.
not happen.
Absolutely not.
But no, it's
Eh,
so I was familiar with the kind of setting, and then I think
sure.
just the production design of that movie is insane.
Yeah.
And the acting, like,
Oh yeah, it's 100% insane.
though
Black
I
Narcissus
must say,
production.
I
Oh,
found
it's
the
insane.
nurses quite interchangeable. I was like, you should go for people who don't look so similar also,
Sure.
because Deborah Carr and the other nurse, who not nurse,
I mean, the
sister,
only way.
who-
I mean, the only way they can differentiate is by putting blackface on somebody. I'm
Yeah.
just trying not to be.
no, no,
I'm
no,
not
I'm
just
talking
trying not
about
to be. Yeah. I'm trying
No,
not to be sarcastic regarding the movies.
their filmography is fascinating. I mean, also because like their war filmography. I think you will. I know which film you might be hinting at, the second one which you will be mentioning, but we'll get to it. I think when you talk about that, well, I'll talk more about their filmography then. But we can move on to Amartya. Amartya, what is your one of your favorite films of last Because I'm guessing you watched a lot last month.
Watched
Well,
everything.
नहीं sir, वैसा होता नहीं है. As much as you might like to think so. I realized in August I
You
actually
watched
watched the
Kill
Rebel
Me,
Moon.
you watched Veda, you watched 3 2. Need I say more?
Actually, the movies I was very tired after watching was the Rebel Moon ka director cut. So I just remember I watched that in the beginning of August.
Are we
See,
recommending that? Is that your
are you kidding
recommendation?
me? Are you
Oh,
kidding
okay.
me?
Sorry,
No,
I'm
no.
Then why are
asking.
you talking about it? What is this trauma bonding session?
If this is trauma, basically, it was trauma. No. So I like Dhruv had been joking that I was like extremely dedicated to covering Locarno ka film festival, which was not true. I just covered 5 film. But the
Yeah.
one film which I actually loved is Surprise, the one I did not cover, but I got a chance to
Okay.
watch.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And that is Death
I'll
Will
type
Come.
it. Yes. Okay. This is
Yes.
the pure genre sort of
Hmm.
thingy, which has
Yes.
received very divisive responses, I think,
Yes.
at the film festival. But any
Death
idea
Will.
when is it gonna release or no?
I have
But
no
please,
idea.
okay, but please add it to your watch list if anyone is interested in the genre which Amartya is going to elaborate on. Yeah.
Death Will Come, or the original title is La Mort
I got
Viendra.
YouTube rejected your comment. This usually means they think it's a scam. Try changing it a bit.
What
So
will you
death
La
say?
won't
Mort
come.
Viendra. La Mort Viendra. Just write that.
I don't know how to spell it, but you'll
L
have to
Just
A
tell
write,
me.
just
space
write
M O
Amartya
R T.
recommends before that.
L A
Oh yeah,
space
maybe
M
yeah.
O R T.
Amartya,
Yeah.
let me write Amartya recommends death will come.
Sir, quote unquote कर दो ना, तब भी तो हो जाएगा.
Anyways, yeah, you continue. I'm typing it.
Yeah, yeah. So it is directed by a guy named Christoph Hockosler. Okay, I have no idea how to pronounce his name. I'm just saying I haven't seen any film of this guy.
Okay.
Apparently he makes all these genre movies specifically,
Hmm.
and I know I after talking with another critic who writes for HOF,
Hmm.
his other movies are actually better than this. He did not like
Okay.
this movie. He felt that this
Okay.
movie wasn't that great. I think this movie was exceptional. Also,
Hmm.
surprisingly, the 2 movies which I'm recommending are both Last Samurai homages, which is hilarious. But anyway,
That's
so
true. Hmm. I know the
yeah,
other one, which is why I said that's true. Not just I took it out of my
yeah.
ass.
So
Yeah.
this movie is basically like the synopsis according to Letterboxd. Letterboxd, please sponsor us. The synopsis according to Letterboxd is Tez kills for money. Okay,
Hmm.
Tez, who is the assassin? Okay.
Sure.
Charles Maar, a legendary gangster, hires her
Huh.
to avenge the murder of one of his couriers.
Yep.
Once in Brussels, she gets caught up in the thicket of an intrigue in which she herself becomes the prey. All right.
Sure. Hmm.
Here's the thing about this movie. This movie is convoluted AF. That is
Hmm.
one. Number two,
I don't like where this is going.
if you check the letterbox ka reviews, most people most people ka reviews is basically I could not keep up with the names of the people. I am forgetting the names of the people. I am like Germans or Indians में ज़्यादा कुछ फर्क नहीं है. All these people are like that only. आधा से ज़्यादा लोग they can't keep up with the names.
Yeah.
But
Please, we are better, okay? We can name the 101 Kauravs.
can we?
Amartya, recommend what else happens in Death Will Come.
No. So in That Will Come, what happens is what we
I
start
mean,
to
don't
realize. What we
don't
start
spoil
to
it.
realize due to the convolution, we realize that there is a quote unquote war going on between two
Yeah.
factions, and this assassin gets caught up in the thicket of it all, which
Sure.
what Letterboxd is stating. What really struck me, and because why I'm bringing the Last Samurai homage is it's almost expertly paced. Like you have to keep up with it, but it is expertly paced, and the
Methodical.
filmmaking very methodical, and the filmmaking is extraordinary. How it
Okay.
uses neon lights during the nightclub sequences. There is a fantastic sequence in a nightclub in which Tez is sipping on her drink, and she looks at the bartender, another female bartender, and there is an attraction between them. Hockosler frames that full wordless sequence. There is no dialogue, nothing. But you can sense that she is attracted to the bartender, but she also is hesitant because she doesn't want to get involved.
Sure.
It's just a 2-minute sequence, but you get everything from her expressions.
I read somewhere that it's like someone compared it to a Claire Denis film, which automatically piqued my interest. Like it's like a Claire Denis
I don't
rendition
think
of a.
I think it is too genre heavy to be actually
Sure.
classified as a Claire Denis.
Okay.
I think
Okay. Okay. Got it.
it is playing too much with the genre to
With it's
classify
too
it good.
indebted to plottiness also, I
It's too
guess.
indebted to plottiness,
Sure.
but
Got it.
I think the brilliance of it, which I think
Hmm.
kinda gets lost in the shuffle because of its
Hmm.
convolution, is the fact that at the end of the movie you will come to realize that the over plottiness of the story doesn't ultimately matter, because that had been the point. The over plottiness had
Hmm.
been the point.
Hmm.
At the
Got it.
end of the day, it was all staged. The over plottiness itself was staged, and
Sure.
that's really what struck me for this.
Yeah. Got it.
But again, it's the filmmaking which really bamboozled me for a minute. I was
Sure.
like, I haven't remembered a movie so expertly homaging Melville, to the point that some might even say that it is like almost copying Melville, but it
Hmm.
isn't. It's like updating Melville for the modern day.
Interesting. I'm in. Absolutely.
So
Whenever it
yeah,
comes, whenever death will come
it's a
on the
combination.
internet.
It's a combination piece. It's La
अच्छा
Samurai
किए
ka
थे
homage.
लास्ट मिनट देखो जरा.
It's a Last Samurai ka homage, but what this movie also reminded me of in how it shoots Europe and how it showcases Europe is the American Friend by Wim Wenders.
You've
This
seen? I've
movie,
not seen that, but I've yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
this is like, it's a very weird combination of those two movies. Again, the American Friend is another
Interesting.
fantastic movie. It's a very
Sure.
weird Ripley movie, but it's a fantastic movie overall. It's fantastic.
Probably existentially overloaded, if
Yeah.
anything else.
Fully,
Right.
fully,
Right.
fully. Yeah.
Okay. Which means I should watch it, and I guess I'm gonna give you guys an existential crisis with the movie I'm going to be recommending next. It is similarly heavy on. Should I? No, I'll save it for the last. Okay, so that the three people who we have stick around maybe for the last. I'll recommend the other film, which I had planned to recommend, which is Annie Baker's Janet Planet, which
Yes.
released in
Mhm.
2023. Actually, it released at Telluride, New York, and it premiered there and Berlin, but it released here this year. It's out online now. You can watch it wherever you want. By that, I by that I think you know what we mean. It's a very in one way is a very typical and traditional coming of age story. It's set in Western Massachusetts. 11-year-old Lacey spends the summer of 1991 at home. This I'm reading from Letterboxd, so as Amartya, listen to Amartya Letterboxd. 11-year-old Lacey spends the summer of 1991 at home, enthralled by her own imagination and the attention of her mother, Janet. As the months pass, three visitors enter their orbit, all captivated by Janet. So it's a lot about a child's fascination or attachment with their mother, and how they over time have to come in some ways to a sort of realization that their understanding of them and their relationship with them might never be as simple or as graspable as they want it to be, which is why, as I'm saying, a lot of people have compared it to After Sun by Charlotte Wells, a film which I've never really got. I've never really gotten the
Is it
affection for.
that sad? Is it that sad?
No, it's not. So I think the big my thing with After Sun was my thing with After Sun has always been that it's too transparent a film about mysterious relationships essentially. Like it tells you that that these, like, the difference between the father and the daughter in that relationship is telegraphed too quickly, I think, for me to, because it's almost like then you start
Don't spoil
noticing
it for me,
stuff.
huh?
No, it's
देखी नहीं
so
है.
the film tells you very quickly that the film, what it is about, is my problem with
Okay.
something like After Sun.
You
I didn't
wanted to
have like a moment
realize.
of.
Sir, but not necessarily ki every drama should have to, structure its drama as a mystery, right?
No, but
The
it's a film about memories, which is my other thing. Like After Sun is a film about memory. Like it's about the
Okay, so it
memory of
means
a person,
not
of someone
get
else.
clarity for a film about memory.
It's too clear for me. I prefer my films about something as slippery as memory to be slightly hazier. That film to me is
but
too.
I Sir,
For
but
me, it's not hazy.
also
Huh.
hold on, but
Hmm.
from that logic, I think you did not like The Lost Daughter, but I think even that movie kind of was a bit, involving me in memories, but it was slightly more hazier than what
Which
you're
daughter?
calling after. The
The
Lost
Lost
Daughter.
Daughter, Maggie
Oh,
Gyllenhaal.
the Lost Daughter. I was like, oh yeah, I know. Huh,
Yeah.
I didn't care for that much, but but that's because I thought there was a redundancy in it. I
Yeah.
didn't think I needed the flashback section at all. Like to me, the mystery remains more if it's centered in and around the performance
No,
of Olivia
but I think
Colman.
I'm not going to make this an after Sun ka
No,
discussion.
no,
We
I'm
are
I
getting
told.
excited about it.
Yeah, because honestly, I don't think the film merits utna sa bhi discussion. But I really like that movie, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, yeah. I think I just thought ki, I think the fact that it needed to be a mystery, I don't think it matters. I think
fair enough.
from the girl's perspective, the movie is basically her trying to remember, which is what happens for many
Yes,
people who have lost their closed ones. That there is
yes,
always a fear that they might forget
Hmm.
the
yes,
people who are
yes.
closest to them. I think
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
movie really evoked that very well. That is after sun.
Fair enough. Huh, no,
Yeah.
I understand it. I think my issues with that film, and I probably should go and rewatch it. Like I watched it at a film festival when I was watching a lot of movies, so it might also be one of those things, right? Where you'd watch too much and it gets
Yeah.
clouded by that, and the hype around that movie at that point in time was extremely high, so it might also be due to that. Again, the reason why so I think a lot of reactions what you are having or had towards something like After Sun, I think I had with Janet Planet, and which is why I was like, oh, so this is what people meant when they got that reaction out of that film, because this is the time where I got it, because I was like,
Right.
it's firstly it's shot on so Sanjeet, you can rejoice, it's shot on 16 millimeter, which I think is the reason he added it or added to his watch list, because I don't think he would have added it if I just said that it's good.
Like films by film stock.
Yeah,
I mean,
Sanjit, yeah.
anyways, it's but if you're doing something which is about something slightly more mysterious and slightly more rough, like the texture of the film sort of does complement it also sometimes, but then you
I
also
don't know.
get
Poster say it evoked a mild sort of family comedy. I don't know, bro. Is it a
it has
comedy?
no, it's got like it's got the slight comedic pieces or edges to it, but it's largely a film about it's like the childhood curiosity to know a little bit more about your parent, but also want to sort of hang on to who you think they are. But the
Okay.
parent themselves in this film, played wonderfully by Julianne Nicholson, who's done a lot of stuff in TV, if I'm not wrong, especially
Fantastic
recently, right?
actress. Check her out in Mayor of
Uh,
Easttown.
yeah, sure.
Fantastic.
Mayor of Easttown is the one where
Yeah.
she's the second lead essentially in
She's
that
the second
to
lead.
Kate Winslet.
Isn't the dude
Also,
who gets shot secondly?
Thank you for the spoiler for people who've not seen that show.
woo woo woo.
He's
Oh,
the Marvel dude, na?
no. He's not the second leader. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
But
But I mean,
also,
the
I think,
very integral piece to Mayor of
yeah, but
Easttown.
also,
Yeah.
but also think with Julianne Nicholson, I think, what was I going to say? Yeah, she has always been excellent, even in the indie movies she
Sure.
has walked in. Which reminds me, the second question is it very Sundancey? And by that I mean, you know what I
You
mean.
think I would have recommended it then? Because I'm the one who's the most allergic to Sundance
Yeah.
stuff. But
Have you been?
no, it's not. And the reason, sorry,
Have you been to the festival?
no, I've seen a lot of their movies that
Wow.
premiere there, and they are like
They have
choking
a very specific
on
style now.
candy.
Yeah, they have a
They're
very specific
choking on
style.
like quirky, like Wes Anderson has made those candies.
So Wes Anderson, artful reconstruction of a Judd Apatow romantic comedy. Basically,
Probably,
that's what
yeah,
they do on screen.
better
Yeah,
description. True, but no, Jan Planet isn't like that. It's too. I think there's something very. The mysteriousness comes from the performances, the two lead performances, of course, and the way Annie Baker is a playwright, and this is not a
yes,
movie that seems like a play at all, which is a big
that is
compliment
impressive.
to. Yeah,
That
that
is
is
always
very
impressive.
impressive. And there's a visual command to the whole direction here, which I was just like,
I
this
want to tell you
cannot
who
be
else
the
is a
work of a
playwright.
playwright. Who?
Your favorite, Dhruv. Your joint favorite, Abhijat Joshi.
अरे वो डायरेक्ट थोड़ी ना करता है भाई.
Sir, वो तो LSD करता है. But चलो, people will get the joke. Anyway, let's move on.
Okay. Anyway, so in Janet Planet, the big thing is, so it's structured into the three people who come into the life sort of structure the drama of the film, but the whole film follows this very elusive structure. So like the structure is set actually that these three people enter the life and exit these people's life, but the way in which they enter and exit it is very elusive and very mysterious. And you, through these three people, you sense a push and pull between the mother and daughter. So at times it feels like they're close. At times you feel like, they've slightly separated. And there's always this sense that this relationship, which is why now I was thinking about and I've been watching the Stanley Kubrick stuff. So maybe it's that the whole Janet planet thing. I was like, oh, the whole orbiting thing makes sense in the sense that these people are, that's the
Are you
description.
you are connecting this with 2001 of all things?
I'm not connecting it, but the title of this film is based on almost like these people who are very much orbiting
world.
around each other but stay somewhat distant. So you get this very slight disconnect between feeling that these people are so close to each other, like they define each other in their habits, like they affect each other on almost a subconscious level at some times. But then you also get like these instances where they seem like they don't understand each other at all. Like you get this, like don't want to spoil how the film ends because, but there's like so many images and there's so many moments which have just like stuck with me. And it was like
Yes,
after the movie ended, I was
give me a
almost
moment, I'll be back.
no problem. After the movie ended itself, I was like very sure. I was like, okay, I know this movie is not going to like leave my head very soon. It was one of those experiences, and it hasn't. And yeah, so it's whoever's interested. I think most people are interested in these coming of age stories. I've somewhat tired of them, I think, at times, but this was a very lovely take on it. I really liked how the lighting was used, the way Julia Nicholson sometimes is lit. She's almost like half covered in shadows and half. It's the whole. You can see part of the person, but then another part of it's always hidden to you and
Shrouded.
everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's got a wonderful visual language to it. I think it was very wonderfully written. Of course, Julia Nicholson is terrific. Zoe Ziegler is the child actor's name, who gives, I think, my favorite performance of this year as of now. So I was, like a lot of things just wonderfully worked in this film for me. So yeah, I would recommend it highly. I know some people had problems with it on accounts of it being slow, so that might be a detractment for some people, but I would still say stick with it. It gives you an emotional punch, which I think is hard to find in some stuff this year especially. But yeah, that's my Janet Planet recommendation. Varun sir, would you do the honors and talk about
Talk
the
about
life
the
and
film
death
you
of?
confused flow for water.
No. Yes, actually, never mind. I have someone who's added to this live stream. I will not be adding them to our live stream. Like
Okay, Sanjeev,
it's Baris. I don't know who Baris is.
it has to be Hemant then. अजीब
Okay.
नामों के साथ तो हेमंत ही आता है.
Or I don't know. Is it? I don't know what he's trying. Okay,
Yeah,
private chat.
Yeah, it is him.
I think good guess means it's Hemant. Okay. Yes, Hemant. You
How's the
can. We will.
moving going?
We will allow you to stick in the private chats for today, just to maintain the runtime of this live stream. But
नहीं
yeah,
तो
Varun,
फिर
go
से
ahead.
नहीं तो फिर से एक what's your राशि हो जाएगा, सीन हो जाएगा फिर
Yeah,
उसके
no.
बाद
Now we are talking about What's Your Rashi 1942 edition. In any case,
And
right?
Yes, anyway.
after that, Hemant will engage you in a battle in which the two of you will say, "खेले हम जी जान से."
No, no.
I
Start your
vote.
thingy.
The Life and Death of Colonel Blimp is a film I approached with a certain amount of like worry because I don't know, war comedies are because it is partially, at least in the first 15 minutes of war comedy, they can be very tricky. And it can go from one moment of lampooning a situation or a person into lampooning an entire way of life, and that can be and I do the distracting. This is ये इल्जाम आपको
You are the.
मेरे नाम
अच्छा, आपने पहले बोल दिया, and now you expect me. I'm basically doing what you said.
You should have worried about saying it during Sarkate ka Atank. Anyway, so
आप लोगों का आतंक था सर उस तरह मेरे सर पे. Anyways, Life and Death of Colonel Blimp.
but yeah, but I found myself genuinely enjoying the first 10 minutes where, but war starts at 4 o'clock and, all of that is happening. And I've forgotten his name. Roger. Ish, मैं
I
बूढ़ा
have
हो रहा हूँ
watched
क्या?
it in yes. नहीं हो रहा हूँ का क्या मतलब? You are. Even though you make age jokes at us, you
You
are
are growing
booढ़ा.
old. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Feel our
No,
pain now. Good, good.
I can't.
Livingston?
No, Roger Livingston. It's
Yeah.
Ron Livingston.
रॉजर को रॉन कर दो ना, रॉन लिविंगस्टन हो जाएगा और
Not that prick from Anchorman.
Roger Livesey. Sorry, he is
Livesey.
sort of.
So that was
Yeah,
not that far off. Okay.
so
ठीक
he's covered
ठीक है
in like
ठीक है.
prosthetic makeup and he's waiting in a Turkish bath and these guys come up to
Yes.
him and like, well, war has started. And he's like, but war starts at 4 o'clock. And
Yeah.
he's completely upright about that.
Hmm.
And it sort of goes into like this fever dream sort of situation of it sort of really evokes the world pre World War One and pre the
Yeah.
sort of battle to take over Europe or to be the hegemonical power in Europe, which was
Hmm.
essentially between Britain and Germany,
Hmm.
and the creation of this very unusual the bond birth of this very unusual friendship between two men.
Hmm.
And uh, I could see why Dhruv liked it, because like one character pines away for one woman like forever, played by
Oh
Deborah Carr,
God. Oh
and
God.
also
Sir, by
features
that
an
logic,
actor wearing a bald cap.
I
sir,
watched
by
it
that
in.
logic, by that logic, though, he should like Pearl Harbor also. That movie is a pile of bullshit.
No,
Has he
I,
watched
I
it?
will never watch it. Don't worry.
He
So,
will
Who
but
knows?
yeah,
You
go
might
ahead.
like it.
he
Who
will
knows? You might like it.
definitely relate to
Michael
some.
Bay's normal human interactions are not my idea of entertainment or
Oh no,
life
it's
or
one
death,
side.
anything.
If one
Anyways,
side
yeah.
is love is Dhruv's cup of tea, then he will really relate to Sundar Khanna from Sangam.
I did not know this. Okay, I saw this before Ae Dil Hai Mushkil, so I can't do anything.
See,
Anyways,
Ek
go
Tarfa
ahead.
Pyar and the person in a bald cap. The similarities are too much.
Both. So this is the next episode, huh? The life and death of Aliza. Uh,
वैसे भी PhD हो चुका है सर, आप पोस्ट डॉक कर लो.
you are the
So
one.
no,
So you are the one who's distracting. Don't call on me, Abaron. You are the one who's doing all this.
so no, and I really enjoyed the fact that in the middle of World War II, the film could look back on World War One with a certain amount of levity almost, and
Yeah.
treat it with a certain lightness of touch, even though it concedes that the matter is very grave and all of that.
Hmm.
And it is, of course, Anton Walbrook again, fantastic performance. I think Livesey is great, but without Anton Walbrook, the film is not half the film it is. Especially that slow move in of the
Oof,
camera when he's
that
delivering
scene
that
is
monologue is
total
incredible.
something else only. Yeah.
And the fact is, okay,
So,
sorry, some weird sound. It's
okay.
strange house. We had a cat break in last night, so anything can happen, really. But no,
Is your
it
dog
was.
fine?
I don't have a dog.
I thought you did.
My dog died 8 years
ये
ago.
कहाँ जा रहा है conversation?
Sorry.
Wait,
So,
where is this going?
yeah, we'll talk about my dog in another episode. In a movie, we'll do about dogs. I know an
Yes,
episode we'll do about dogs. Yeah,
We'll
dogs
record
and
it for your podcast. Yes.
yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
I love
the
dogs.
one that is
With-
dead and needs to be resuscitated at this point. क्योंकि वो तो नहीं रहा है
because
कुछ.
of Dhruv.
Yes.
Shut up. Talk about life and death of Colonel
I
Blim.
was after you brought my memories of my.
You mentioned the cat
dog.
break.
Yeah, because of the sound. Then you remembered
Okay.
my dog who passed away. You, Dhruv, you remind me of trauma. But anyway. So,
Continue, please.
How
I beg
how
you.
much do you love the transitions of life and death of Colonel Blim? How it does time transitions?
you know, the interesting thing about how the film deals with time is that it sort of has almost a naturalistic feel to how time passes.
Does it
क्या
does
तो
it
है,
like
let me also see.
does it like just move from one scene to the next, like just transitions normally, or is it just
I don't think it no, but like it does some stuff like with great spectacle, like with Black Narcissus type spectacle.
Yeah.
That one
Right.
shot of the trenches of World War One is phenomenal because this is a film being shot during World War Two. War office restrictions have been placed on productions and the kind of money they
Yeah,
can
the
spend.
context of production is big, a big,
Yeah,
to see this sort of film being made at that point in time is
which talks
like,
about something that you need to look beyond borders at a time when naturally anti-German sentiment was
yeah.
at a
At its
real.
peak. Hmm.
Did
Yeah,
Churchill
and
hate it, ban it, something like that?
he tried to ban it, but I think the
Tried to ban
INB ministry told him that you can't ban films in our country and stuff like that,
it.
and he
Okay.
was shocked. He's like, we can kill people in India, but we can't ban films here. What the hell? But yeah, that was
Of course,
Churchill's take.
Churchill slander आएगा यहाँ पे, but let's go.
So it was a very unusual film for me to enjoy as much as
Yeah.
I liked it. And
Yeah.
I thought it was reflective without being mopey about it.
Yeah.
It
Right.
sort of the harsh wake up call that this
So
man is.
the British way.
Hmm.
More
It's
reflective
honestly
without
when
being
It is a
mopey
very
about
British
it.
film in that sense.
Yeah.
yeah, but when I watched it 2017, maybe I watched it, or 20, before that even, I was like, this is like the proper template in some ways. Of course, it's not as chaotic and quirky as a Wes Anderson film, but the Grand Budapest Hotel, like, there was something in it which really reminded me of the best of Grand Budapest Hotel. Also, just this whole, it has a melancholic attachment to
Yeah.
a time
But it's
that's
still,
past. Like it's
yeah,
like World War, whatever it, like the First World War in the context of what the
they were
nation is heading
experiencing
in
that,
the film feels almost quaint. Like, there's
yeah.
almost a slightly romantic edge to it, but it's blunted, of course, because that there's loss and everything involved in it. So it's like
Not just that, I think
operating.
the film doesn't quite acknowledge the fact that World War One was pretty ghastly for its time. Like
Mm,
mustard gas, tanks
yeah.
coming into the
No, it takes
coming
the colonel's perspective of
yeah,
it, as
yeah,
which
he has a
especially
mindset.
from the point of view where he's viewing it, because his वो
So
थोड़ा rose tinted glasses का हो है उसमें, which is
correct.
that even with Grand Budapest Hotel, where you get with the relationship
Yes, they
between the
won.
two.
As opposed to Anton Waldbrook, who initially ignores him at the
Yes.
prisoner of war because
Yeah.
he knows they've lost the war and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think I was just. It's also the fact that I watched the film like a very long month ago, so
Yeah.
I'm a little lost for words possibly. But to me, it was just a very soothing sort of film. It has
Yeah.
conflict, it has like difficulty in terms
Mm.
of the characters' lives and everything,
Yeah.
but it doesn't seek to place them in some sort of exalted space. It tells you that life's like this, and you've got to sort of
Yeah.
get up, brush your pants off, and move on,
Yeah.
which is something we could all do more of in life than
Yeah.
sit around more, which a lot of us do. And
Mm.
Hindi films tell us कि अगर तुम रोगे तो पीछे शहनाई बजेगी, and in all honesty शहनाई नहीं बजती है, बारिश
Yeah.
होती है और इंसान भीग जाता है.
But okay.
That
कभी
is
कभी शहनाई बजती भी है, but
that
ठीक है.
is मतलब क्या ही बोले.
आप द किलर के बारे में बोलो, सर.
The other killer.
हाँ, not the
Which
David
killer?
Fincher one which you
there are
love.
three. There are three. Which killer?
वरुण
Yeah.
ट्रॉमा डंपिंग, उसको किस बात का ट्रॉमा है सर? ट्रॉमा तो उसने हमें दिया है. Anyways, the killer
Okay.
is the one
Okay,
you're
so
talking about, right?
So the context for the killer, because context is necessary here.
John
the killer,
Woo's the killer,
yeah, John
right?
Woo's. Be specific.
Original
John Woo's
actor.
the killer,
Which
1989.
1989. Okay.
Because John Woo, in his infinite wisdom, remade the killer in 2024 this year. So you get the idea. It
Oh,
is very
that's the film
confusing.
I've been seeing all over those sites.
With Halle
Yes.
Berry or no?
No, it's Natalie Emmanuel, who was in Fast and Furious and Game of Thrones.
And
Uh,
who is in your most anticipated film of the year, Metropolis?
Metropolis, Megalopolis.
Metropolis is
What Metropolis?
Megalopolis.
Fritz
Metropolis
Lang isn't
Fritz
coming
Lang
back to
का है.
life.
Yeah.
Sad.
If it was Metropolis ka remake, I might not even watch it. But anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway, but
Megalopolis ka, I don't know who the lead is. Adam Driver.
yeah, the female lead is Natalie Emmanuel. Anyway,
Acha, okay.
so context for the killer. The killer is, by all accounts, if you listen to Wu was very inspired by Western movies. Wu was also inspired by Indian movies. I bring Indian, especially Bollywood, up because if you look at Wu's ka filmmaking ka trajectory, his start and what made him famous was a movie named A Better Tomorrow. Here's the connection A Better Tomorrow has. A Better Tomorrow is inspired by Salim Javed's Diwar, Another movie which I watched in August, which I loved. A Better Tomorrow was inspired by heavily by Diwar. The only difference which A Better Tomorrow has with Diwar is पहला तो milieu वो सब तो है. I'm talking from a narrative context. Is the brothers don't die. Brother doesn't die, but
Okay.
that is also because Wu is a very devout Catholic, so he always believed in redemption. That is why the
In
brother
a happy
survives.
ending.
Somewhat happy
No,
ending, मतलब
redemption
थोड़ा
is not supposed
redemption
to
है,
be happy in the
थोड़ा
Catholic
redemption
faith.
है in
I
that
was
way, थोड़ा
connecting it to
redemption.
Tismar Khan, Varun. Please let me.
हाँ, थोड़ा redemption है इसलिए. So A Better Tomorrow
Chris,
works
you've
in
got to
that
take
account.
back what you said. This man, you don't be
Yes.
responsible.
Yes. So I'm again bringing out how do I put this?
Dhruv.
Bollywood and Wu's Catholicism. Wu's Catholicism, because those two play an integral part in The Killer. Now, The Killer ostensibly is Wu's remake of Last Samurai. It
Okay.
ostensibly is, but it is also exceedingly melodramatic.
Acha.
That's good.
Matlab, no, matlab to the point that it's like when the opening shootout happens, the movie opens with an opening shootout occurring with Chow Yun Fat's killer actually shooting at a nightclub, and his bullet ejecting very close to a female nightclub singer's ear and face, which makes her go temporarily blind. That is the
Okay.
inciting incident, and that fills him with guilt. And
Oh, so
because
this is very Last Samurai. Like it's
this
like this
is very
nightclub got done, but with all the with like
with
all the
all
characters
added
have added.
melodrama,
Okay, okay, okay.
seeped
So this
with
all the
added
whatever
melodrama.
stripped down in that film is basically
Whatever
like
stripped down version it was,
okay,
it's all added here. So it's like
sure,
all of the melodrama is added. But वहाँ पे there was a cat and mouse game between the police officer and Jeff, the
yeah,
killer, basically.
yeah,
Here वो सब नहीं है. Here it's not even just the cat and mouse game. It's like total friendship coming out of the crucible to the extent कि you can actually read it as full on homoeroticism. मतलब वो टेक्स्ट है, वो सब टेक्स्ट भी नहीं है, इतना इतना overt है वो. And it's like, but again, considering this is me who doesn't like melodrama all that much, I liked the fact that this is so melodramatic because the accompanying violence and action is so
that is also
breathtakingly
heightened.
over the top. Yeah,
Sure,
breathtakingly
got
over
it.
the top. It is insane. It's like people make jokes at Wookiee. In every action sequence, there is a church and there are doves flying. That started from here.
Nice. मैं
That
हूं ना पे
started
पहुंच
from
गए
here.
थे वो तो.
हाँ, मैं हूँ ना भी पहुंच गया था.
Jawan,
Yes,
sir, Jawan.
जवान.
Sir, I am making my Farah Khan universe connection. You are doing the
I'm
wrong
talking
thing.
about,
Jawan में
I'm
नहीं
talking about
डालते ये सब.
actually being John Woo.
I mean, clearly
Yeah.
no. He doesn't,
But
because I would not expect John Woo to be cutting that much, for one.
and like John Woo, and I adore how John Woo cuts action. Like John Woo doesn't care to John Woo doesn't give two rats as about logic. Guns का
Sure.
bullets खत्म नहीं होता है. ठीक है?
Sure.
Never. No bullets कभी खत्म नहीं होता है. I think one guy even asked him, one interviewer asked him कि, sir, in the last scene, you know, the clip was over, but the guns were still firing. And John Woo, I don't know how much true it is. John Woo said, I don't think I asked for your opinion. And I was like, okay.
I respect the man.
I respect the man.
I really don't. That's rude.
I don't think so. I see. This is the equivalent of you sending me that meme about Rab ne bana di jodi and I going.
Why are we going there?
It's just
You
it's
are
the
not
same
Aditya
point.
Chopra, sir.
It's the
You are
same
not
point.
Aditya Chopra.
It's the
It's
same
also
point.
I think the fact of the matter is, see, I there are people who are fans of classic Bollywood who can buy
Yeah.
into the melodrama. I think I have realized that I need a tad bit more of a balancing act. If you're giving me
Sure.
the melodrama, you give me everything else that is also heightened.
Sure.
Which is why the killer works for me, because everything is heightened. His guilt
Sure.
is heightened. The friendship between the two of them, the curiosity the police officer has about the assassin, that is heightened. It's
Yeah.
like the police officer is sitting in that same pose as the killer at his room. Okay. And then he pushes the sofa and he goes back and he shoots at the guy coming through the door. in the exact pose that the killer did just a week ago, sitting in that exact pose. It's like
So,
he's replicating the pose, and through that he's trying to understand the mindset of the killer. I'm like, itna over the top hone ka zarurat nahi hai, but that is the whole idea of the film itself.
it's a joy, no? Style
Yeah,
as substance or whatever you want to
yeah,
call
yeah.
it.
Style is completely substantive.
Huh. Yeah.
And I think the killer is not his masterpiece. I think his masterpiece is Hard Boiled, which
Yeah.
is like insane action. It's action over action over action. It's like set pieces are connected through
Has
emotion
he
and
made films in the English language a lot
Mission
or
Impossible
no?
2?
sir.
Except for that, which I don't like. But
Yeah, of course
yeah.
he has made Hard Target, which was the first John Claude Van Damme movie.
Okay.
He
Interesting.
started with that. Then he did Broken Arrow. Then he did Face
Ah,
Off.
okay. So
which is-
90s stuff a
yeah,
lot.
full 90s. Face Off. If people haven't seen
Oh, Face Off is him. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
Face Off is so good. Face Off is so good. That was the one time
Ridiculously
I felt that,
silly but amazing, which is
that
Face
was the
Off is
one.
basically what they needed for war.
Exactly. Face Off is what
probably
war is. War
intended
was
it,
meant to
no?
replicate. Yeah.
Yeah, they tried very hard.
Yeah. They tried very hard.
Get Shirish Kundar for that stuff.
But nahi, sir.
Nobody's
nahi
giving
hoga.
him 5 rupees. Forget 50 crores.
सर उसके पास पैसे होंगे, उसकी बीवी ने बहुत कमाए हैं.
Actually,
But
दे
then
देगी
he
क्या वो किसी को भी?
sir, she made Joker.
Then he did. Then I think Wu did another couple of. I think Wu did 2 back-to-back bombs in Hollywood. Then he went back to Hong Kong. Then he did 2 back-to-back epics in Hong Kong.
Okay.
One is Red Cliff, and then another is Crossing. Those
Redcliffe is also him. Damn, I need to
Redcliffe
watch his work. Yeah.
No, his work is like exceedingly. It's like it's again balancing act, a melodrama.
He writes his
and
work or no? Is it more like just a
kind of.
director? Okay.
No, he writes some of his work. Yeah,
Sure.
his best stuff is the best stuff are the one he's written more or less. So
Okay.
it's like yeah.
Interesting.
Now he has returned to Hollywood and he did one movie last year called Silent Night, which wasn't bad. It was okay. Joel
It is
Kinnaman.
with okay.
Joel
Like a
Kinnaman.
horror thingy or
No, it was an action movie. It was an
action movie.
Santa
He's
Claus
like-
action movie, right?
It wasn't Santa Claus wasn't in it. It was a Christmas action movie.
Christmas action movie. हाँ.
Sir, Christmas is
Same
Santa
thing.
only.
हाँ मैं पता था ये बोलेगा.
सर वो तो रेड वन आ रहा है इस साल, वो देखना. ड्वेन जॉनसन का मूवी जहाँ पर सेंटा क्लॉस इज किडनैप्ड. बकवास मूवी, मतलब कुछ
Santa
भी
Claus is kidnapped.
सेंटा क्लॉस इज किडनैप्ड. एनीवे किडनैप करने का और कोई किसी को कोई नहीं मिला. एनीवे एंड देन दिस ईयर ही रीमेड द किलर which is like
हाँ.
the good thing about the remake was it is not at all like the original. It's like
Oh.
it's like a European caper movie. It's like La Femme Nikita more than the killer. So it's like okay. Yeah, good only. But again, coming back to the killer, coming back to Hard Boiled, I think Wu's masterpiece was this, basically, more or less. Hard Boiled and the killer, those are his 2 evergreen masterpieces. I think a better tomorrow can also be called his best
Someday, I think we should delve into the works of John Woo. Someday, hopefully, for live stream purposes.
delve into करने का जरूरत नहीं है. I think you can ignore his Hollywood work except Face
No,
Off.
his but like best work, not everything. I'm saying
I think
we're not
Face
doing
Off
a
was-
we're not doing a Stanley Kubrick thing for any
No,
filmmaker for a while now.
No,
Yeah.
I think Face Off was the one time his the Hollywood sensibility matched his own melodramatic sensibility almost perfect.
Sure.
That
Got
is the
it.
one time. But other than that, most of his Hollywood work has been kind of made.
Sure.
But
Got it.
his Hong Kong work though, something else. Also interesting connection. The Killer inspires, not The Killer, A Better Tomorrow and The Killer inspires Ringo Lam to make City on Fire. City on Fire which inspires Quentin
Tarantino
Tarantino
to
to
make
make
Reservoir
Reservoir Dogs, which inspires Sanjay Gupta to
Sanjay
make Your
Gupta.
Kate. Yes.
Let's keep him out of everything, please.
Yes.
He's coming back with a new movie, sir. It's called Visfort. It stars
It's called Wishfort.
Ritesh
It's
and,
releasing tomorrow.
So
It's
we
releasing
will not.
tomorrow.
आप लोग डिस्कस
really?
करना प्लीज.
No, I think
आप
it's
लोग
releasing on
अकेले डिस्कस करना.
Sunday.
आप लोग ही एडिट करना एपिसोड. मुझे नहीं सुनना उसके
हमको
बारे
तो
में
पिक्चर
कुछ.
भी एडिट करनी पड़ेगी, इतना खराब बना.
सर
Anyway,
कलर
so-
कैसे एडिट करोगे पिक्चर का? कलर सैचुरेट तो करो पहले उसको ठीक से.
I think there are some of the action sequences in the Killer is almost poetic, you know, like how they use the shotgun sequences, how those two are like shooting at the assassins back to back. It's almost like poetic because he edits his action sequences to music. So there is a poeticism and a rhythm to it,
Yeah.
which he also does in this new Killer as well. He edits it to a jazz score,
Sure.
which is why the chaos actually works. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
So
That's a wonderful lead into Tismar Khan, our final film to
how?
discuss today.
How?
Nothing
Because
is a
it's,
wonderful lead.
Explain this to me. Explain this to me. How?
I mean, it's got its own sense of excess, poeticism, everything to it. I think I love how excited Chris is more than anyone else. I'm fearing how much I'm gonna get looks here, but okay. But
Sir, मेरा poker face रहेगा sir. कभी
Sir,
कभी
that
अगर
is not.
Tismar
That is
Khan
just
की-
not possible. But okay. No. Anyways, we're discussing this, and as I mentioned, I think before Amartya had come to Varun, that this is not. This is not. This is so bad. It's a good argument at all. This is a. I actually really,
Love this.
really enjoy this movie. Wala recommendation as opposed to. Because I don't think it's a. It would be so bad it's good if they didn't know what movie they were making. They know exactly what movie they are making. Both Farah Khan
I
and
mean, so
Shirish
bad
Kanda.
it's good is like Koi Jaane Na and Neil
Jani
and
No, even they know what they're making.
जानी दुश्मन.
Cat.
Jani Dushman
No.
is probably that, no? No?
Koi Jaane Na, they don't know what they're making. Okay?
Achha, they don't know what they're making.
I will make you watch that movie and you tell me.
I think Rapta is one of those examples for me,
Oh,
where it's
so
like they definitely think they're making some revolutionary piece of love story, like modern love story, whatever thingy.
They were essentially making Magadhira, but okay, remaking Magadhira.
Whatever they were making, they failed at it so miserably. It is worth watching, honestly.
That's
Anyways,
why Dinesh Vijan has never directed again.
yes. Anyways, we are talking not about that type of film, even though IMDb ratings might suggest that we are talking about that type of film. I didn't know this film was this hated. I knew that it was pretty badly received, and it had one of those. It did extremely well when it released like that weekend, and then crashed and burned. A bit like Jab Harry Met Sejal, though I would
Sheila
argue.
Ki Jawani, Sheila
no.
Ki Jawani, that
Jab Harry
song
Met
brought
Sejal got a
everybody to
bad-
theaters.
Jab Harry
Sheila
Met
Ki
Oh, got a
Sejal
bad
got
opening only.
start.
Sheila Ki Jawani is that's one of my one of
Oh,
my
that
many
also
points
is
on
fun.
this film. So
That
can
song brought everybody to the theaters, actually.
can also
Please speak-
can I so I'll just say my plain and simple I've
Please
written
speak
this
about
in
your
bold and in capitals. Plain and simple reason for recommendation is the film's ability to elicit laughter near consistently. Okay, my argument is very simple in that respect. Ki I laugh almost throughout the film, not at it, with it. Very simple. There's no joke that I laugh at it. I'll be very clear. I don't want to make this sound like we are making fun of the fact that I enjoy this film ironically because I mostly don't liking films which are this, ironic about their own sense of sincerity or whatever it is. Okay. So just to make that very clear, and I'm sorry, I'm getting some comments. So Dhruv, I think Chris is more excited. I'll be very honest. I'll be most excited, Hemant, when we discuss Air Dil Hai Mushkil. Because I again watched the first 1 hour today, but whatever that means. uh, yes. So again,
Can I make my video pause? ताकि ये face हमेशा ही रहे, इसलिए I don't have to sit here and listen to this. But okay.
What drugs were to Sanjay Dutt, Dil Hai Mushkil is to Dhruv. A bad habit.
Yeah.
I've made compelling arguments about the film, I think, to you guys, but if you don't want to buy it, it's fine. Anyways, Tismar Khan is an adaptation of a film directed by Vittorio De Sica, the neo-realist filmmaker, or the the progenitor of that genre or style of film, which I think is the funniest joke one
Out
can
of
think of outside of it.
204 subscribers, we will be down to 2.
We had 205, but okay, I think we are down one then. But
No, 205 से सीधा crash to 2 हो जाएगा.
अरे तो but that is a fact. That's nothing to do with me. No, that is a fact. They officially remade After the Fox, which is a Vittorio De Sica film that he directed. I don't know when he directed it, to be honest. So it might be one of those phases when he was switching over from neorealism into something else.
Later work. It's his later
Yeah.
work. That
Yeah.
Jesus
yeah.
Christ, Hemant.
दिल धड़कना बंद हो जाएगा उसके बाद. वैसे भी हो ही गया था मूवी के एंड में, टू बी ऑनेस्ट, सो इट्स फाइन. बट No, okay, so Tismar Khan is about, like all Farah Khan movies, about
A
some
lot of
people
things.
who play dress up essentially, and after, like, they try to, because all of her films are that, because in the first one, Mehuna, he plays a college student. In the other
Yeah,
one, they're putting up a show as a movie, movie within a movie,
yeah.
etc., etc., etc. In
So
this
she's
one,
basically making movies about movies consistently.
which is one of the reasons which I always think there's,
सर
which is why I
पीएचडी
don't
करो,
understand.
दिस इज अ थीसिस,
क्या
कल जाओ सबमिट करो ये प्रपोजल.
क्या बट वो तो एविडेंट है, ये तो ये लोगों ने आर्ग्यूमेंट बनाया हुआ है, इसमें कुछ नया नहीं है.
सर ये तो ऑट्योरिज्म का प्राइमरी एग्जांपल है ना. दिस इज ऑट्योरिज्म.
सर
यू
नो,
यू कांट
शी इज
शेयर
एन
माय
ऑटो, नो नो,
if
इसमें
you
तो कोई
can't share
डाउट
my
ही नहीं है कि वो ऑटोरिज्म
सर
का टैग आप उस पर नहीं लगा सकते, वो तो है ही. आई
if
उसकी फिल्म्स
Michael
आर,
Bay is if Michael Bay is an auteur, she is also an auteur, to be very
सर
honest
यार,
with
देयर,
you. Yeah.
इफ माइकल बे इज एन ऑडियो, रोहित शेट्टी इज एन ऑडियो. ओके,
यस,
Sir,
दैट इज
nahi.
वेरी ट्रू.
Sir, nahi. No, sir,
रियली
nahi.
नॉट.
Sir, nahi. Sir,
Can
There
we
has
go
to be
back
some
to why
Lakshman
Tismar
Rekha.
Khan, please? I don't want to talk about Rohit Shetty.
एक second. Michael Bay is an auteur. You see a Michael Bay movie, you can recognize that it is a Michael Bay movie. Nobody can make shit like this. If you see a Rohit Shetty movie, you will be like, एक film student अभी भी graduate नहीं किया है film school से, उसका movie देख रहे
That's
हो.
solid, Chris. Can I get credits for this, please? In terms of, if you were mentioning, if you're referring to the fact that you're doing a Farah Khan with
Reference this
thesis.
video. Reference this video.
हाँ,
In your
वो
reference.
एक प्रोफेसर का सब्सक्राइबर
In a
शायद बढ़ जाए
dissertation
हमारा.
that one person will read, aside to
हाँ,
Chris. No
तो वही ना,
slander to you,
एक
Chris.
एक तो ऐड होएगा
The
at
fate
least.
of all dissertations to be
And
read.
Anyways,
second
my
one is
so
spoilers.
no, but my central thing was also that it's all about surface pleasure, right? Because everything is surface in these films, there is nothing other than surface. Depthlessness is a big thing about all these
I would
films.
counter that
कोई
about both
गहराइयाँ
Om
नहीं है
Shanti
मतलब.
Om and
कोई भी गहराइयाँ नहीं है, और उनको पता है कि कोई गहराइयाँ नहीं है, which is the big thing.
You really think like Mehuna and Om Shanti
No,
Om
no.
don't
So
have-
no. I'm talking about Tismar Khan. So this is
Okay.
So there's the two films. So one thing that I will concede very, very much from the get-go is that there is a marked drop down in terms of what a filmmaker is trying to do with the film. Because in Main Hoon Na and Om Shanti Om, there's a combination of stuff working. If it works or it doesn't, that's a different matter. But the filmmaker is trying to put up a grand show, but also
Right.
trying to communicate a lot of things which are not just limited to satirizing, parody, farce, etc., etc. They're trying to engage you properly emotionally, like, trying to elicit as much emotional excess or whatever they want to from the songs, from the drama, everything. In Tismar Khan, and I forget Happy New Year, so I'm not going to put that out for discussion at all. But in Tismar Khan, there's a remarkable lack of seriousness to anything. It's we are just like, we've got these bunch of jokes. Let's go hit them like on the like let's see
yeah.
what all
What sticks.
works. And
Yeah.
if it sticks like insanely for some of us. It doesn't for a lot of people, which I think is totally fine, because I'm not going to. Because again, comedy is super subjective also in that case, and I've myself written, I can understand people finding the humor cringe and annoying, but I also try and traffic in that same lameness when I'm on these live streams. So we can call it, a poetic connection I have with the movie in that sense. So it's. I don't want to like undermine the film also though, because if you want me to make arguments about the film in the same lines as Komal Nahata wants to make proclaims that this is French cinema, इसको तो Oscars में जाना चाहिए. I don't think I can ever make that argument, but I can push forward some sequences, some things in the film which are very admirable, which I think definitely are a great showcase of filmmaker, writer, in the way they know how to stage sequences extremely well. They know how to write characters who are very idiosyncratic. Like them or not, again, that's a debatable thing, right? But but they have, because see, the film opens.
Hemant, I appreciate that you are trying to steer the conversation to something much more, credible.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, Hemant. I didn't know you were a fan of shithousery also, like we are. I still think it's
Hemant
one of
is
the
the
best.
original shithouser.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, I would love to read your paper paper on it when I don't have two people viewing me on
No.
across the live stream.
Dhruv
Also,
will
the
read your
purposes.
paper when he gets done with the papers he already promised to read.
That is also very true. Thank you, Varun. But anyways, so I was saying that so for example, the film is about a con man who poses as a director and wants to use basically, like, he tries to convince a whole village that they are making a movie, and while making that movie called wonderfully Bharat Ka Khazana, that while making the movie they are going to stop a train, rob it, and then he's basically going to put all the money into the pockets of two Judwa twins, no, Siamese twins almost. What's Raghu, Ram, and
Raghu and
uh,
Rajiv.
रघु
yes,
एंड राजीव
yes,
roadies
जिन
dude.
लोगों को एग्जिस्ट
the
नहीं
roadies
करना
dude.
चाहिए but they exist in our
Yes,
collective consciousness is two goddamn tumors. But
yes.
anyway, let's move on.
Well, your
So
generation is the one that went and auditioned at roadies. ठीक है?
नहीं सर, वो मेरा मेरा पहला जनरेशन था, मेरा जनरेशन नहीं है. By the point we reached, we were like, ये कौन से चूतिए है? That was our reaction every time we saw on TV.
yeah, but see, the thing is, this film would not work at all if it aimed, like, even as much as Main Hoon Na or Om Shanti Om, for genuine, like, he has a genuine character. He is a caricature. Everyone's a caricature here,
His
deliberately
name is
so. I don't think
Tabriz.
that.
Like, who calls their kid that, right?
I
anymore?
would think Tismar Khan is the giveaway, not Tabrez. Tabrez, you can call
No, but
someone.
Ismar Khan can be the title of a film, but Tabriz is so dated as a name that
तो
Atish
but they are
Kapoor, it
वो
sounds like a
nostalgia का
filmy
aspect तो
name.
होता ही है ना इसमें. ओम शांति, again, isn't that a sort of same thing, like
No, but
okay
like,
का वो ओम कर रहे हैं या जो भी कर रहे हैं.
no, but here also, right?
Om
Atish
Shanti
Kapoor.
Om, Om Shanti Om is basically evoking resurrection also, na? In a way.
Cars only, no, it is a remake of Cars in any
It's a
case,
remake
right? So
of
it's
Cars, yeah.
yeah.
But like Atish is such a filmy name and such a filmy title. There's a film also called Atish, I think.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yes. There's a Sanjay Dutt film called Atish, directed by Sanjay Gupta.
Yes. That's what I was
You've
waiting for. I'm like, how do you
stolen
forget
my
that?
my
How do you
episode का
forget
thunder
that?
by slamming in that
I was like, how do you
moron's
forget
name.
that?
Anyways, no, I was saying that Bharat ki garibi or Bharat ka garib. Yes. So I think Chris can very much. Chris, you can basically list some of your favorite dialogues here, and I'll just rattle through them, as opposed to giving a more somewhat
Your
academic
favorite joke
breakdown
is
of
there
what I
with
really
Sudhir
like.
Pandey to. I think that's why
Oh
we
my
didn't watch
god, that
the
is
film at
so.
that
There's
time.
like, so again, as I mentioned, there's like surface pleasures abound, right? There's like also just production design and just innovation and using sets and everything very well. So it's as silly as naming your airplane Con Air. Okay, there's the airplane in which he is committing the con is named Con Air. It's stupid in that sense. Then there's Bunty, but his name is Bunty
Bunty
Baveja,
Baveja.
and she's called Bunty Bevaja. Then there's Manoj Day and Manoj Night Ramalan, and the explanation for why one is Manoj Day and why the other is Manoj Night is basically that he was
My
born.
favorite, the one that I remember is तूने Danny Boyle को Danny Denson का समझ में भगा दिया.
So I think it's a fairly accepted thing, even with people who hated that Akshay Khanna
Yeah,
is
it's
kind
fun.
of a hoot
He's
in the
great,
film, because he's having a great time. But yeah, this was made, as you had mentioned, after the slapping spree between.
No. I think before the slapping.
What is slap or
Joker.
punch? Did Shah Rukh Khan punch
I
you?
think what a slap, not a punch.
Slap.
It was
Okay.
during Joker, Agnipath Joker Ravan. That
Sir,
time.
I'm just going to say
Oh.
one thing. I think Shah Rukh Khan was in a very angry mood during that era. क्योंकि सलमान के साथ भी उसका वही टाइम ही हुआ था.
But
वो-
Salman was with this gang only, no? Janeman to Shirish Kundar made with him only, so maybe it's a whatever
सलमान के
connection
साथ
there.
जो प्रॉब्लम था वो तो दूसरा प्रॉब्लम है. But I'm just saying कि शाहरुख खान wasn't giving two shits to anybody at this
Yeah.
time, at
He was
this
punching
era.
them.
He was
Yeah,
punching
punching the
them.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but so for my thing is, so if you want the whole pretentious praise for it, I can give the pretentious praise. I have
Bolo,
loads of
bolo.
it. So okay, my first point: can an item song be can I can't even believe I'm saying this. Can an item song be quote unquote feminist?
Yes.
That is a line of.
Yes. Pushpa did it.
I think Sheila Ki Jawani has a shot in also qualifying as one of them then, because I think there's a way in which Farah Khan, firstly Farah Khan knows how to shoot music. Wow, what a revelation! But given how
Vishal in
many
that
people.
song is the
Oh,
second best
Vishal
performer
Dadlani
after.
has the most wonderfully sleazy response to singing Sheila. Like just the way he utters the word Sheila is filled with havas in a way which makes Akshay Kumar break his head with a bottle ka glass. But
And seeing as Dhruv comes from Delhi, he will know all about how
havas.
can be expressed by people on
Okay.
the road.
Good Delhi joke, but incorrect on my part.
At this point
not
Delhi
saying
का
you
वो
do it.
joke भी नहीं है. At this point Delhi का वो joke नहीं है. वो
That is
feature.
सर
true.
कैलकाटा का भी जोक नहीं है.
At this point तो definitely not. At this point तो definitely not.
Not in a discussion with Tismar Khan. You don't bring this. Come on, don't. This is like Karan Johar tackling 9/11. Don't do
He
it.
did. He
He
did.
left it
Don't
for
do
nothing.
it.
He did it with
Don't
the one
do
movie.
it.
He did it with
It's
the
the
one
better
movie which actually worked in his entire oeuvre and which surprise
It's
you
so
don't like.
which again is the point
Oh, I
of
thought we were talking about Kurban.
disagreement we are on. Like this
No,
is the
we are not.
planes.
No,
No, we are. Your perception of
Kurban to
you
New
like
York.
the one Karan Johar movie, which I think is not a Karan Johar movie essentially.
It's
And
disingenuous on some level. For sure.
I think it's too simplistic.
Sure.
You can't make a simplistic film about 9/11. You can make something
Sir, it's very
frivolous.
simple. Planes, towers, crash. As that song in Gulal goes, what?
Can this be?
What's
Can
that
this
song?
be?
जैसे
Can this
दूर
just
देश
be
के-
dead silence
जैसे
here?
दूर देश के टावर में घुस जाए रे एरोप्लेन. That song is there in Gulal.
I have no idea what you're on about. Okay, but anyway,
Should you
so
not watch Gulal?
I have. I remember which one.
I haven't seen Gulal, so that is left over. Anyways, the other thing is, I remember, and I think we've talked about Slumdog Millionaire a fair bit in
Yes,
In
one of your
our
episodes, which was
in our
also-
episode.
which
Yeah.
was also part of your project, basically.
Yeah.
Which-
So I mean, project as in it was more like asking people what they think of Indian reception to Slumdog Millionaire, because I was doing something on Ang Lee ka projects and I was comparing it with another film ka Indian reception.
The
Life of Pi and Slumdog Millionaire was the
Slumdog
two.
Millionaire, yeah.
How
Yeah.
Indian is Life of Pi? It's mostly CG.
That was one of the arguments.
That
So
was one of
he-
the arguments. Yes, it is
Yeah,
so
yeah.
blue. Hemant's point. Blue movies. He has been watching.
Blue by Lawrence D'Souza or whatever.
Yeah.
Tony D'Souza, sorry.
Tony D'Souza.
Also Akshay Kumar movie.
No, but
Yes.
see, the thing is, a lot of people criticize Slumdog Millionaire for its sort of poverty porn, its aesthetics of India, because it was about a foreigner coming in and looking at it from a gaze which was foreign, which made the country's poverty more appealing, right? In many ways. If you want to look at Tismar Khan as the anti of that, there's more than enough ways in which it does that, I think, in ways which are actually quite interesting, because I thought it was fascinating how even the big transformation that Tismar Khan's character has towards the second half of the film is accidental. He's not a hero. Like it's not like he's done something to become a hero. It's like he's trampled onto some coincidence through which he has become a somewhat good-hearted man. So you get like all these tropes of like the outsider coming to the village and like transforming the village and everything. All that's the farcical nature of all these things kind of is a good antidote to whatever serious version of this you would get in other films, which I think is somewhere. I think there's value in talking about how farce, how parody, how these things can actually be a good counterpoint in many ways to these sorts of good like that chosen one narrative, also whatever you want to call it, like it feels like it's almost too silly for it to accommodate that entirely. And the other note which I had, and I think again this goes back to staging and again to using, so it's like there's two instances in the beginning when Akshay Kumar's character meets the Siamese twins at two different locations, and
Dual
I remember
Dual tumors.
dual tumor, okay. But he meets them at two different locations, and this is a recurring thing in Farah Khan films, I think, because in the first one, of course, is about India and Pakistan ka it's the
Bharat
Project
Milap.
Milap thing, right? Project Milap thing. Then it becomes. I remember in Om Shanti Om, this Om is wearing a locket, which has the three symbols on it of the three gods, if I'm not wrong, of three
Doesn't he
religions.
just have an
Sorry.
Om?
No,
He
no,
has
no.
an
It's all
O,
three
right?
religions ka wo. He has like in the first half he has a locket which has all three, like a moon, Om, and a Christianity ka symbol essentially.
Cross.
Cross, yes. So it's
America return Dhruv Krishna Goyal.
अच्छा
Christianity का
क्रिश्चियनिटी का
symbol.
सिंबल यार क्रॉस ही होता है ना. एनीवेज इसमें there's the way I think it's kind of unfortunate that it's gone from Project Milap to these things being much more secondary to her films. I mean probably because whatever, they've been
I
pushed
think
out.
probably, yeah, maybe external
Exactly,
circumstances also.
but no, I love how in this the first time they meet is at like a Navratri place essentially, which is, and they have a great way of using the dandiyas themselves as a joke. Like again, there's my thing is like there's pleasures within the way the film knows how to use like their religious symbols and even some functions and like situations in ways which is comedic but also like commenting at how these festivals essentially make. See, I know when I say all this and when I'm talking about Tismar Khan how ridiculous it sounds, which is why I had noted it down, and I was like it does sound ridiculous, but there is all this stuff. The next festival they go to Eid and they are wearing burqas essentially to conceal their identities, and they are using that as of course a joke
Isn't
within
that
the
where they
scene.
run into Salman?
Sallu, unfortunately, which is where no one should run into him anywhere.
Nobody should run
Actually,
into
he
him at
has
all.
run
It's
her.
खराब
He's
है
run
guys.
over onto people. So yeah, I think that's.
Just there.
I think that should be it for our live stream, which has lasted more than 1.5 hour, 1 hour 15 minutes, which was the intended target of today's.
No, Hemant,
thing.
Hemant, I think your question का एक simple answer है, ठीक है? It's similar to what Dhruv extracted from I Saw the TV Glow.
I don't think so. Oh no. I don't think this is
It's
very true.
no. I'm not saying कि it's his views are not valid. I'm just saying कि
I didn't mean that. But okay.
I don't think I am efficient or capable enough to parse through I Saw the TV
No,
Glow.
that's because you don't like it. That's a difference. I like the film and it works
Exactly,
for
but
me
it's
on a
also
surface level, so I want to read more into it.
he
Right?
wants
That's
to
the
read more on it. I
It
think
works
Tismar
first
Khan-
on a
Tismar
laughter
Khan came
level.
here also. Yeah,
It
that's why
works
he-
on a laughter level. That is the main thing. And after
Frank
that,
Local.
you can dig into it if you want to. And it's not necessary for me to dig into it. I'm just doing it for this live stream sake to get more poker face reactions. I guess is the bigger thing and feel more embarrassed.
I think Chris, if you're going to talk about I Saw the TV Glow, I don't think it's the fact that the message is obvious. I think the fact of the matter is, I think the filmmaking itself is too pretentious for its own good. But anyway,
I
that's
disagree, but I think we have a different POV on that also. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I'm going to highlight some of the choice dialogues that Chris has noted down, and I think we can call it a day after that. Because I think that's how we should end this. Because he likes the film the most. So, yes. So, it's that type of humor. If you hate it, then you hate it. But if you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Dhruv is the kind of jokes Dhruv would make.
Yeah, oh,
Which is what I
absolutely.
admitted at the beginning. I was like, I know what this is like. It's very lame. I love it.
यही तो मेरी जिंदगी है.
यही तो मेरी जिंदगी है, exactly, which is not the case with दिल मुश्किल.
you sure?
Yes, over and out कौन सा? Yes. Yes. So again, I and also
I should
this is
watch
also
this.
us viewing this film now also through the lens of where Akshay Kumar has ended up makes this film glow in some other direction also. It's
Like the TV.
Yes, like the TV, which Amartya loves. So this consistently.
See, that
tracks.
joke is funny. Unlike the
Yeah, but
Tismar
it's
Khan jokes.
but it's a little too clever. Like that joke is too clever for Tismar Khan, I feel.
So the
No, I
Hemant
get it. I
version, which
get
he
what you're
just
saying.
gave out, is
Populist
more
comedy.
Tismar Khan.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly, absolutely. Hemant and we are on the same page, Hemant. Yes.
I think, but even generally, what little I've seen of the film, I would much rather watch something like Tismar Khan than any of the things that Farah Khan's numpty, useless brother is made.
Oh, well,
Oh,
that goes without saying.
I think
No,
that
but
is
people
absolutely
think
correct.
Houseful is a very funny film, and Houseful 2 is damn funny. I'm like, are you mad?
I would just say that
Sir,
I
sir,
don't remember those films at all.
Houseful and Houseful 2 was basically like somebody bombarding me with unfunny jokes shaped like
SMS jokes, you
big
remember?
ass rocks.
180
Shaped like
characters you
big
had to
ass
send in
rocks.
SMS jokes.
See, the thing, so
Yes.
the difference also comes down then to direction, because I just genuinely think Farah
She's a
Khan
better
is a
visual
very
director.
good
Yeah.
visual. She's very good at visual. Like she knows how to stage sequences. Yeah, like she knows how to shoot
I mean, she's a
song
choreographer.
sequences.
I mean, she's a
Yeah,
choreographer.
yeah, but people don't know. Then people can be good choreographers, but then not know how to shoot that
Remo
dance
D'Souza.
sequence.
Remo,
Will there
Remo, Remo,
Remo
Remo.
D'Souza.
exactly?
Sanjeev kahan hai aap?
Sanjeet Kao.
Sanjeet, huh? So okay, Asen fandom, which I have Asen fandom for Ghajini actually out of everything. So
I'm not
and
surprised that
yes,
Hemant has Asin fandom.
yeah, but no, this is true. The gay sensibility, which again there's an overdue
Queer
thing on
sensibility,
Farah
yes.
Khan, which camp and gay sensibility is a huge thing, huge part of Tismar Khan. Like there's like all the interactions between him and his three what do I call them? Burger, soda, and what are their
His
names?
sidekicks.
Sidekicks, but no, but I would like to call them like their names. What was it? Burger, soda, and dollar, maybe, if I'm not wrong.
ये
Very good
क्या
comedic
नाम है?
actors.
ये क्या
Oh,
नाम है? बर्गर सोडा और फ्राइज रख लेते, काम बात है ना, मतलब it would have rhymed. बर्गर
क्यों?
सोडा डॉलर कौन रखता है?
Burger soda costs $1, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, it
So
did it
मतलब
that
क्या है?
Soda,
time.
burger,
सोडा
dollar.
मिला
Yes, so I got them
$1
correct.
मिलता है. Yeah.
Yeah. This sounds so wrong.
So
But
Also, Ahmed Khan.
I think that's enough. I think that is
I think
enough.
that is enough. Yes.
Yeah.
Ghajini first half only.
Please
Yes,
leave
I
that.
agree.
Please leave
Yeah.
that Hemant comment as the ending note for Sanjeev.
Yes. On
Yes,
that
that's
note,
it.
on that note, yes.
On that very deceptive video.
No, on this note, I think, because I think this is a good prompt for sometime whenever Chris and I do eventually that episode on Farah Khan and the camp sensibility, which extends
Count
into a
me
gay
in, man. I
sensibility.
like her movies. I've not watched this.
Okay,
I'll watch
you
it
are
tomorrow.
in.
Maybe.
Okay,
Kal dekhte
okay,
hain.
fine. Oh, Remo is from Tamil song. Okay.
Sir,
Okay.
sir, context जो भी
It doesn't
दो,
make it.
it not changing anything. The vision is still the same.
Yeah, but I mean, I know we've stumbled over the finish line essentially for this live
Almost.
stream.
We haven't.
Almost.
We haven't.
I know.
We
There's
have 2.5
3 minutes
minutes.
remaining. But I would like to close it out because I also have to say how like we are not always this stupid. But I mean, we try. But tomorrow we are, as I had mentioned, that Hemant, myself, and Amartya are
No,
recording
again,
the
very
episode.
wrong. Very, very wrong.
What? What?
This wording is so inappropriate. Happy ending ka karo bro. No.
I think he
Can we
means in
just-
terms.
Can we just
Very bad, Chris.
Okay, I think yeah, I think we should shut up. But anyways, we will be getting the Stanley Kubrick episode to you finally, the last part of it. Hopefully by Wednesday or Thursday tops, and then we do Kinds of Kindness episode sometime soon. I have to fix that. I've still not seen it, and then there's I
We are
have
also
no idea,
wondering,
Chris.
should
You are the
just send
only
us
one ना
this.
here, क्योंकि मेरे को तो पोकर फेसेस मिल गए इन लोगों के और ये लोगों ने उड़ा लिया मेरा मजाक
मैंने
क्योंकि
कुछ भी नहीं
दिस इज
बोला,
बेसिकली
सर,
द
जो बोलना
ओनली
था
टाइम आई एम
अमरत्या ने
डूइंग
बोला।
दिस ओके बिकॉज ऐदिल मुश्किल तो मैं कभी लाइफ में डिस्कस नहीं करने वाला इनके साथ सो बट यस एयर फ्राइट
We'll need to get Dhruv like accidentally drunk for him to talk about it.
I'm going
आई
to,
डोंट ड्रिंक
Accidentally बोला ना मैंने.
कैसे करोगे एक्सीडेंटली ड्रिंक
आपकी coffee में
ड्रंक
थोड़ा
कैसे
थोड़ा
आप किसको बोल के पढ़वाओगे
Dhruv, 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, but the person who puts out the reels isn't putting out the reels, so it doesn't matter if we go on to
Is he
put
doing
like one
over
more
Remo?
bit. On that note,
On that note.
on that note, we will end this fuck all live stream, I guess, and we will.
I mean, to be
Uh,
fair, to be fair, fuck all, it was supposed to be anyway. You are the one who shifted the smart card to the end.
No,
It was
no, come
our
on,
decision.
Chris.
That's true. Anyways, we will decide whatever to do for next week's live stream. I'm not sure what's coming
Yeah.
out. So
I shall
yeah.
see our regular viewers after a while.
We will not. I'm sorry, Chris. I will scold them separately. But yes.
I also think next week Thalapathy Vijay ka movie is coming out, the greatest of all time on GOAT. Nobody is going to watch it. I'm pretty sure
Sanjeet
except
will
me
join
and
you.
Sanjeet. Except me and
Yes.
Sanjeet, yes.
And
Then
Aditya.
and
And Adityan,
yes.
all
Yes.
three. Fandom.
Yes.
Fandom galore. Yes.
Yes, and then I don't
Khatam
know what
karo,
else
sir.
is coming.
5 seconds. 6, 7.
Yeah.
अरे खत्म तो करो.
हाँ.
Khatam. Yes.
Khatam,
Thank
khatam.
you.
खत्म.